Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gosport Radio. Both teams are just coming out of the tunnel where Gosport are taking on Gloucester City in a huge FA Cup clash. Jeremy, what a game we have on our hands today. Gloucester, probably one of the best teams in this league.
Oh yeah, absolutely, James. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It's as tough as they come. When I saw the draw come out 2 weeks ago, I thought, because Gloucester, yes, they're in the same division as us, but they've come down from the National League North. Big club, big challenge.
Yeah.
That's what that means. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one for Gosport today. Nothing less than their best performance will do, James.
Well, I would imagine, like you said, it's going to be a really tough game today. And Gloucester, they've just come down from the National League South. So what can we expect from these players today? I mean, some of them have been ex-Premier League, EFL players. So I think it could be a huge struggle today.
Yeah, I think so too. But let's be positive about it. I just need to do an announcement.
Yep.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is game time. Gosport Borough versus Gloucester City in the Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round. Just a very quick reminder that if the scores are level after 90 minutes, then the tie will go to a replay at Gloucester on Tuesday at 7:45. Please enjoy the game. Thank you. Right, sorry about that. Just having to sort of multitask, but yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a tough game here. But Gloucester, they're a football team. They're human. They're fallible as much as anybody else. So let's. And looks as though they're going to be switching ends, actually, which is a surprise because the weather is absolutely perfect here in Gosport today. Some about sort of 20 degrees outside, a slight breeze coming from over our right shoulders from the southwest. And I'd imagine it's the sun posing a challenge as it drops low in the sky. But yeah, I think it's going to be a case of Gosport having to be at their best to meet the challenge, and if they can do that, then who knows?
Well, like I said, it's going to be massive. I think we'll even be able to do highlights today. Gloucester got a lot of people in their media team today, all here today. And I think that just demonstrates what a big team they are. But Gosport, let's be real, it's a team where we can win it. They are in our league, so it may be a bit of a boring draw considered. But I do think it's definitely winnable compared to a lot of the other teams where they've been drawn.
That's a bit of a stigma, isn't it? When you see that you've drawn a team from your
Definitely.
own division, it's a boring draw. Yes, it can be perceived that way, but then when you sort of see it's a team like Gloucester, you haven't played Gloucester for nearly 30 years. The last time we played them was in 1990, so in actual fact, it's 34 years. And then you know that they're full of good players, they're full of experience. They're going to pose a challenge. They'll bring a good crowd with them. You know it's going to be a special cup tie.
Well, definitely that. And both teams, we're just about to kick off here at the AI Stadium. It's going to be Daichi Hollins in the centre circle. He's going to kick us off. And we are underway as he passes back into Harry Kavanagh. And Jeremy, one of the more interesting signings we have made, which was confirmed yesterday, was the signing of goalkeeper Ryan Gosney. Oh, and I'm going to cut off his Dan Wooden. He's just let off a shot from outside of the box. But returning back to Gosney, I mean, it just shows a real statement of intent. Gosney signing from Salisbury and an excellent goalkeeper now.
Yes, very experienced goalkeeper, and certainly, I must admit, when I saw the announcement yesterday, I was taken by complete surprise by that, because obviously Max is an experienced goalkeeper in his own right, so I can only assume that Joe and Pat are looking for a bit of competition between goalkeepers, and they're worried that if one were to be injured, then you have got some excellent backup, but experience goes a long way in this league. But yeah, I'm trying not to sort of be disrespectful to the lad who we had.
Yeah,
his name is just
Callum Smart.
Callum Smart. Yeah, his name flew straight out of my head at the wrong time. Yeah, no disrespect to Callum because he has performed admirably, but experience and depth goes a long way in this division.
Definitely. Well, Gloucester, they're currently on the attack at the moment. It's Scrub coming down this left wing channel as he tries to play a pass into Phillips. Phillips, right at the box, he's brought down. Referee says play on this. Gosport, they've got back the ball. Dutchy Hollins through into Alfie Stanley. And Stanley, another player who you would think he's going to be up there striking today. I mean, had a brilliant last few games in particular. I was going to say.
Flew over from distance there, but... yeah, you're talking about Alfie Stanley. It's going to be quite the challenge for him today. You look at the size of the Gloucester backline. That is going to... He's quite a sort of small lad. So, yeah, that's going to be quite a task for him. But he's banging form at the moment.
Definitely.
So, are you still pottering?
Yeah, still, yeah. Got a lot of tweets to do in the last 5 minutes.
No, that's fine. So, I will keep going. Now, a bit of a midfield clash there between Danny Hollins and the... number 12, Cam Walters. Now, Gloucester just trying to break down the left-hand side. Ball drops back to Record here. Cuts inside. Now, Gloucester just patient play here from the Tigers. They're not in any rush. They're just keeping ball. Gosport are trying to press, but Gloucester just keeping ball. They're long ball over the top looking for the 19. That is Harry Burns. Morrison now just doing enough to put him off, but Burns wins the ball back and just tees up Record, who's 10 yards behind, and the ball travelling in a backwards direction here for Gloucester. But what I'm seeing here, James, is a team that are prepared to be patient.
Definitely.
Ball retention is key as part of their tactics here.
Well, I think this is where it's going to be really interesting because Gloucester, let's be real. I mean, a team who does look to be in real form at the moment. I mean, yeah, but like I said, Jeremy, he's just going to be taking off a break. But yeah, it's gone back to goalkeeper Harvey in goal, an excellent goalkeeper at this level. Although, be it their main goalkeeper, who used to play for Chelsea, he's not in the starting lineup today. So that is definitely an interesting sign. But Gosport, we're currently applying very heavy pressure to the new goalkeeper Harvey. It was Dan Wooden who put the most pressure on the goalkeeper there, but Harvey just doing well, dispatching it into Burns in this right-hand channel. Now it's Richard Everton, and he's passed back into goalkeeper Harvey. Harvey, he launches one up. 5 minutes gone here. It's Gosport 0, Gloucester City 0. And it's gone back into our new goalkeeper today, Ryan Gosney. Ryan, he's signed from Salisbury on a season-long loan. I mean, a lot of experience. Ultimately, was a difference which helped get Salisbury there winning the playoffs. So he's going to offer a lot of experience to this Gosport team as he hacks the ball forward, trying to find the head of Dan Wooden, but it's headed away by Manx there. And it's gone filtered through to this right-hand channel, just by the burger bar, round 25 yards, I want to say, out from goal. And it's just giving Gloucester a chance to have a deep throw in here. It's going to be taken by Manx, their Cam, as he looks forward. Number 10 was running towards him, Grubb, but he doesn't choose that option with the midfielder, just taking a while to take this throw. Phillips is also making a lot of movement, but it's going to be Smalley making the most. Throw has been launched forward into 13 Manx, and Manx just can't do anything because McIntyre, excellent defending there, getting goal side as he launches the ball forward, and it finds Dan Wooden just inside the Gosport half as he lays one into Bradley Tarbuck. Tarbuck on the outside of the boot, he tries to lay one across into Kavanagh, but Kavanagh just can't get on the end of it. Richard Everton doing really good defender there, just playing a pass out of play there. And I mean, let's be real, the first 5 minutes here, considering Gloucester, they're a full team play, I would imagine we'll probably see the best of them in the second half when you see all the energy levels reduced for Gosport.
Where's the 5 minutes gone?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's way quick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you'll find that the danger is if you play a quick pressing game is that you then have to make sure your personnel stay fresh because it demands a lot more of your body if you're being patient. Now, Gosport are pressing Gloucester quite hard, but what I like about Gloucester's style of play is they're patient, they're relaxed, composed, and they will just, what they'll do is they'll just keep the ball and they will pick you off. So you very quickly they'll play
well, exactly like what's going on there with Finley Will-Smith. He was on the back line. He passed it into Asher Yearwood. The Gloucester defenders want an offside, but Asher Yearwood, he skips past Minks and just tried to deliver a ball there into Alfie Stanley. Stanley can't get on the end of it, but he does win it back, passing it to Tarbuck. Tarbuck goes for a shot from distance. There's appeals for handball. Asher Yearwood, he's taking it away inside the box. A lot of appeals for handball there. It was the defender, Richard Everton, getting the appeals. And I mean, the referee, he is going to talk to the defender there. I mean, it didn't really look like handball there. Just looked like Tarbuck blasted the shot into his shoulder there.
Yeah, it didn't really get a good look. It was all in a bit of a flash. But yeah, I don't think there was much going on there for me. But Gosport do get a corner out of it.
Well, it's going to be Bradley Tarbuck. He's going to take this corner as he raises his arm. I mean, done a lot of good corners recently. Can this be another one as it's filtered in? It looks like it's going to find the head of Dutchy Hollins, who just tried to header it backwards. Couldn't find any Gosport players, but Gosport still got hold of the possession just outside the box. Cameron Murray laying one across into Tarbuck. Tarbuck sliding the ball across back into Murray. Murray doing well to pass it into Smith. Will Smith back into Tarbuck. And now Cameron Murray delivering a deep cross, finding the head of Joe Morrison. He tries to flick it back. Once again, no Gosport players on the end of it. A Gloucester player has gone down. The referee now calling up for it after it was Duffus who went down there. I mean, like I said, still not really that bad of an offence, but I think it was just more clumsy there from Morrison just falling.
Yeah, nothing doing.
Trying to get the count. Yeah.
I jinxed in the press box here at Christmas time. There you go.
Everything to try and get rid of this little bit of paper. Just currently blocking a little webcam. I mean, makes for some funny moments at least with the commentary.
Oh, you always get that.
Yeah.
You always get that. Yeah, no, let's, just going back to those double incident there, nothing going on for me, but I think what it does show is that Gloucester are prepared to defend in depth, and at times they're prepared to put their bodies on the line.
About 6 minutes gone, it's still Gosport nil, Gloucester City nil. I would say I'll try and find you some of the scores, but we normally have issues trying to find the scores. But it's actually Yearwood. He might be able to find the score here as he lays pass back into Kavanagh. It looked like it was originally meant for Murray there, but just too heavy hit. But Kavanagh, he's got it back outside of the centre circle, still inside Gloucester's half as he passes back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh slices the ball forward into Yearwood. Yearwood looks up. He's got Tarbuck making a run in front of him, but he passes into Kavanagh. Kavanagh with the overlap. He's striding down this right-hand channel now. Only got 19 up against him, and he does lay in a cross. It's found the head of Dan Wooden, and Dan Wooden, it just looked like it was heading towards that bottom corner. For just a split second, I thought Harvey was beaten there. Just recovered well. He was off his line, but yeah, good keeping there from him.
Yeah, straight at him, really. Wooden couldn't get the necessary power on that, but if he did, then that might have been a different story. But what a good move and a good build up and a good cross. And yeah, Dan did the best he could with that chance, but unfortunately, you could see the header lacked the sting it needed to beat the goalkeeper.
Well, Gosport are back on the attack again as Bradley Tarbuck, he launches the ball across into Asher Yearwood. Well touched down using his body as Asher Yearwood, he's looking to pass, and he does pass into Tarbuck. Back into Yearwood. Now Cameron Murray just skipping a ball across into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins rolls on forward into McIntyre. Back into Dutchy Hollins. Pat and Joe calling for players to move up the field. There's Dan Wooden, touches it down left of the penalty box. Tries to slice in the ball, but instead finds the leg of Duffus. Still kept in by Dan Wooden. And Dan Wooden, he's really tussling with Duffus. Duffus coming victorious in the muscle battle as he passes into Grubb. Grubb, he launches the ball upwards. Can it find the runner Phillips? It can't. As Joe Morrison gets a strong header and he passes it across into Dutchy Hollins. And now it's gone all the way back into Finley Walshmith, who passes back into Gosney here. And Gloucester, I mean, let's be real, it's probably the Gosport who've been on the front foot inside the early 8 minutes. I mean, it's flown by, but I'd say I've been much more impressed by Gosport than Gloucester so far.
It's a good start from Gosport. They played really, really well. I've been very, very impressed with their play. And yes, they pushed Gloucester back into their own final third and made them do a lot more of the work. I'd love to see it continue, and it needs to continue.
Well, you would have to imagine Gloucester, they're obviously full-time football. We were discussing before commentary. They are full-time football, so you would have to imagine they are one of the title contenders for this season, maybe along with an AFC Tottenham. But I would say really this season they haven't been extraordinary, shall we say. Well, lost to Dorchester, picked up a few draws.
That's their own loss, though, James. It's you look at the top of the table, you've got 3 good quality sides up there. You've got Tottenham, you've got Walton and Hersham. Of course, signed Danny Rowe this week.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a big signing for them.
And then you've got Gloucester, and they're all within a point of each other. I think it could be a very interesting either way.
Well, Gosport, they're back on the attack. Asher Yearwood on the outside of the boot, passing one back into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins now striding forward as he lays one back into Harry Kavanagh, around 30 yards away from goal, as he plays a split deciding ball across into Tarbuck. That was one of those balls there where it just ruins the defence, goes straight through them. And if Bradley Tarbuck there just couldn't connect with the pass, just too heavy hit from Kavanagh. But either way, it was a nice thinking, a nice pass from Kavanagh.
Yeah, a bit too much on it, but no, the idea was good. The execution almost badly.
Well, thanks to that pass, Gloucester, they do have a goal kick now. It's going to be Harvey taking it. And we were just talking about Gloucester's form, and I've got some of it up here. So they picked up 16 points out of a possible 21, winning 5. So, I mean, that is pretty good. But drawing 1 and losing 1 to Dorchester. Dorchester having a good season as well. But one of the most interesting things I found is only 8 goals in their last 5. I mean, Gosport, we've picked up a similar form. But if you look at their attack force with the likes of Phillips in there, you would expect them to be getting a lot more goals than what they are producing.
It's good to see Dorchester back at the right end of the table because they're a big club, and for the last couple of seasons they've been down the wrong end, and they're also a little bit of a bogey side for Gosport. So,
yeah, definitely.
No, they really have been for the last few years going back. And of course,
and that is a lovely pass, and it just looked like it was going to find Phillips, but Ryan Gosney doing well, just coming outside of his box, but Phillips has gone down. Yeah, I'm not really sure. He just looked like he over sprinted there, might have just pulled a muscle.
I was just going to say that if there's no replay required from today's game, then Dorchester will be here on Wednesday night.
Will they? Wow. Is that when we play it then, Wednesday night, I would imagine? Yeah, that is a pretty hefty trip up to Gloucester, sure.
But no, sorry, the replay would be Tuesday, but Dorchester would be here on Wednesday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For the league game. But no, obviously, if we had to play the Gloucester game again on Tuesday, then Dorchester would be off.
Well, you would hope we can just get a result today, but we've said it already a few times in this commentary, and I've just noticed the referee has blown up for something there. He's making signals to Richard McIntyre. Not sure what's going on. Oh, he's addressing the injured player. I thought he was talking to Richard McIntyre there.
No,
and I would imagine this could be the end of Phillips' afternoon.
Yeah, no, he's in a spot bother over there, isn't he?
Well, I mean, he's been a good player. He's scored 3 goals in the first 6 games. So just
And a
a little
substitution
over a
is
goal every
coming, I
2 games.
believe.
And I was going to say, I think you could be right there, substitution. So it will be Phillips coming off. I'm just trying to work out who their attackers would be coming on. Maybe Theo Giles. But yeah, just a spot of bother there for Phillips. It does look like they are making the substitution. So it's going to be an early end.
Yeah, I saw that fourth official. So yeah, I did see that. So Harry Emmett.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for that substitution to be made. But yeah, it's clearly the end of his afternoon. And the game at a standstill after 12 minutes. So I'm waiting for Phillips to come off. He's almost on the byline, down away to our left-hand side. Some Gloucester supporters looking very concerned there just behind the barrier.
Yeah.
And manager also looking equally concerned. And there we go.
And now we can confirm the substitution. So it's going to be Harry Emmett coming on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gloucester City substitution coming on number 17, Harry Emmett, replacing number 9, Kieran Phillips.
See, I find that a pretty interesting substitution, actually, Harry Emmett coming on. Because I was watching their highlights and I would have said he's more of a winger. So has this now forced them into doing a more formation structure change, shall we say?
I think we're just going to have to wait and see there, James. I think any time you lose a player to injury, it's going to force you to make a change to your system somehow, whether it's a little tweak or a big shift. I think we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Gosport just making Harvey work in goal there, but while you're tweeting, but we're seeing Kieran Phillips make his way very gingerly around back to the dugout. And hopefully he's going to be okay and he's not too seriously hurt. But clearly, you don't like to see any player come off injured, do you? So
No.
We wish him well.
Well, Gloucester, they're now coming forward, and it will be interesting to see how this substitution does occur. With Gloucester, they're just playing out from the back once again. It was Regford on the ball as he passes back into Richard Everton. Another one of these EFL players who's got bags of experience, came through the ranks at Everton, has played with the likes of Bristol Rovers. So, I mean, all of this back four, really, if we're being realistic. I know pretty much all of them have had experience with the EFL teams. And if you compare that to Gosport, I mean, we got Harry Kavanagh who came through the ranks at Pompey, but a much younger defence. Tarbuck as well, yeah.
And then you've got to think of Dutchy Holland as well.
Well, Emmett, he touches the ball down well, slicing the volley wide of the left post. I mean, it was his first real touch coming onto the pitch, and it wasn't a bad one. Just if it would have been a bit closer to the net, would have gone in, and I think it could have beaten Gosney there.
It just shows you that it's a statement of intent there, the ball just being returned to the goalkeeper. But yes, certainly. I'm just thinking about sort of Holland as well because he played for Portsmouth and Eastleigh. And I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else that Gosport have in their ranks that have had EFL experience. I think that's probably it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. I mean, maybe Stanley, he's got a little bit of experience, but was only there for a short stint and then joined AFC Tottenham.
And that's a good club to get experience, of course. Tottenham here on the 8th of November.
I mean, yeah, that's a huge game, isn't it?
It's going to be a massive night for other reasons, which I'll come on to later. And that's a nasty little foul there on Ty Duffus. And yes, I think he is. Dan Wooden, the perpetrator there, I think. And a little bit late. He's not going to get a yellow for it. But no, Duffus went down there. And Wooden definitely clipped him, probably a little bit clumsy. But the referee's elected not to show a yellow card there.
I think that's all the tweets got. Well, like I said, here at Gosport, for any new fans listening in, we do have a lot of functions here in the media team. Jeremy, my co-commentator, he does the PA announcing, obviously helps with the commentary. I do the commentary, social media. So a lot of tasks doing in this press box at the moment.
But that's what it's good for us. And don't forget, we've got Connor on our left,
who
does the match reporting for the non-league paper, etc. And Paul on my right, who's my trusted right-hand man when it comes to music and. Yeah, so we're a good little team here, and we do well together. And of course, give your dad a shout.
Yeah, I was going to say, a brilliant cameraman. Yeah, and also a really good chauffeur as well. Yeah. Well, Gosport, they're just playing it out from the back. His new goalkeeper, Gosney, he plays it short into Joe Morrison. Joe Morrison looks up as he passes to Tarbuck, just by the Gloucester City dugout as Tarbuck. He rolls one back into Finley Ball-Smith. And now Gloucester, they are the team applying the heavy pressure. As Kavanagh, he does well to skip past Dawson. Kavanagh, he chips the ball forward. Can it find Asher Yearwood? Once again, brilliant, well touchdown by Yearwood. And it looks like this is the game plan, just trying to get out into Asher Yearwood, and Yearwood coming down the channel. But he passes back into Finley Ball-Smith. Finley Ball-Smith, he's just crowded with the local player Smalley. He's by him. But it's gone back into Gosney and goal. And now Joe Morrison. Morrison, he's looking up in his bright blue boots, just trying to decide what option is best for him as he rolls one across back into Finley Ball-Smith. And it looks like Gosport, we're playing a bit of, like I would describe, Pep Guardiola ball, just having to work it out from the back and trying to carve out the perfect attack rather than launching the ball forward and doing more old style football.
Well, that ain't going to work, is it? It's just
not against this team.
Against an organised team like Gloucester, that just will not work. So you've got to think it through a little bit more, and you've got to be a little bit more clever in your execution and your link up play. And Gosport they've not done a lot wrong so far.
No. Well, it was Tarbuck in the right channel there. He just forced into Joe Morrison. And now Joe Morrison, he rolls one back into Gosney in goal. Gosney, the former Salisbury keeper, and now currently Gosport, he's signed on a season-long loan. He launches one forward. It didn't find Asher Yearwood. Instead found Dawson, and now Gloucester, they're trying to carve out an attack. Haven't had too much of the game so far as Duffus, he launches the ball forward, trying to find Emmett, but he's brought down, and Joe Morrison doing a well-diving header there, and that's Bradley Tarbuck. He's striding down this right-hand channel. He's got Kavanagh on the overlap, but Kavanagh goes for the pass instead. Found the foot of Richard Everton there, and still Gosport just nearly keeping hold of the possession before Burns just stuck out a leg there, launching one forward, but sees Joe Morrison head it back into the danger zone. Alfie Stanley tries to turn. Gloucester, they've just won it back in the centre of their own half as it's Regford. He passes one forward, trying to switch out into this left-hand channel into Emmett. Emmett just can't get on the end of it, and it rolls back into Gosney in goal. I mean, like I said, it looks like both teams are playing a similar sort of football here. They're just trying to work it down the channels. I mean, it looks like Gloucester, they're more working it down the left, and Gosport, same as well, down the left.
2 points. Kavanagh's intervention there was crucial. The back header to Ryan Gosney, and at the other end, that defending from Gloucester was really impressive. Thorough, organised. They knew what they were doing. They just kept the ball moving forwards, and I was quite impressed with that. But yes, the game plans are becoming clearer now as we sort of approach the 20-minute mark. But neither has managed to break through yet.
No. Well, I have to admit, these first 20 minutes, it's actually flown by on Gosport radio, as it is still Gosport 0, Gloucester City 0. It's Asher Yearwood. He's striding down the pitch, laying one across into Kavanagh. Kavanagh, he looks up, passing a short one into Tarbuck. Tarbuck rolls one across into McIntyre, just outside the centre circle, inside Gosport's half. Now Dutchy Hollins, just searching for that perfect through ball, and he does find that perfect through ball into Asher Yearwood, I want to say, just by the byline, and he does well to keep it in, trying to skip past Burns. Just doing well enough actually to win at a corner. It did look slightly he ran out of play, but must have took a final touch off of Burns there. And Gosport, we do have a corner. It's going to be Bradley Tarbuck taking this corner. Had 2 corners already, haven't made anything of them so far. And Tarbuck, he's going to take the short one into Kavanagh right at the penalty box as he lays a short pass trying to find Cameron Murray. And instead, it was Gloucester who found it. A ball was just punched forward there, trying to find substitute Emmett on the counter attack, but like I said, Gloucester, they haven't made anything of it. As Cameron Murray, he's in the centre of the park as he does a well-sliding challenge, just meaning Grob couldn't get a counter-attack going. But brilliant work from Cameron Murray there. Cameron Murray played against Winchester, and I mean, a little bit disappointing that Winchester game, losing 2-0. Just a very young team, but still, would have been nice to have a cup run in the Hampshire Cup.
Yeah, it's nice to get a run in the County Cup going, but then you had to look at it from a practical point of view. We had Gloucester City 2 days further down the track, 4 or 5 injuries, and it was a brilliant chance for the under-18s to come in and play against senior opposition, and didn't they do well? But yeah, they would have been. I think Joe and Pat would have been mad to play the senior team against Winchester, and then goalkeeper just dropped and then reclaimed. They'd have been mad to play their senior team and then expect them to recover for a game like this. But what they've done is they've kept the senior team fresh, whereas Gloucester played in the week.
I was going to say, a league game as well, bearing in mind.
So Gosport should be fresher, but...
Do you think that's poor training in the first 20 minutes here at the AI Stadium? Because let's be real, I'd still say Gosport, we've been on the better front foot. Hasn't really been too many serious chances, but you would just be expecting a lot more from this Gloucester City team.
I think it will show in the last 20. And also then you've got 7 subs on the bench, of which you can get 25. So the substitutes will come into play, no doubt. But no, I think you just have to wait and see how this plays out. It's a fascinating cup tie. It's certainly fascinating to watch,
Yeah.
tactically, if nothing else. Yeah, it's thoroughly enjoyable.
Well, Kavanagh, he's just taken a throw in just by Pat and Joe's dugout as he launches one back inside in his own half. Back into Finley Wall-Smith, the young defender. He lays one back into his fellow young defender, Richard McIntyre, only 18 years old. He's on loan from Oxford City. So another one I'm actually a little bit surprised about. Just looking at some of these players. So Richard McIntyre being one of them. We got Harry Lee back on the bench today. We haven't seen them in the FA Cup so far. So I wonder why they're starting to play today.
Just a tactical shift, and don't forget we have injuries. But just thinking about players with EFL experience, McIntyre,
Yeah,
Exeter,
yeah.
yeah, and Harry Lee, Brighton.
Hmm.
There you go.
Well, perfect examples. And I would imagine those two, they could have flourishing careers, at least definitely in this level. I mean, if not, they could progress the leagues like we saw from Toby Stewart last season, doing wonders with Tunbridge Angels now.
Yeah, he's loving life up there, isn't he? And it's lovely to see it.
Mm.
Wished we could have kept him, but not to be.
Well, returning back to this game, it was Kavanagh inside the centre circle. He whipped one out into Yearwood. Yearwood back into Dutchy Hollins. He lays a lovely free ball into Tarbar. Tarbar left of the penalty box. He just tried to slide the ball into Alfie Stanley. It didn't find the short striker and instead found Duffus, the centre back. Duffus is having a brilliant game, just meaning, well, he's playing a game where it looks like he's trying to just make sure Alfie Stanley can't get on the ball. And I would imagine this is what the scouts would have said from the Gloucester team. If you make sure Alfie Stanley can't get on the ball, he doesn't get any reception. It does really limit our attack.
I think with the amount of information floating around now in the public domain, and I've no doubt that Gloucester have had us watched and we've had them watched, there's not going to be many surprises out there, I would have to say. So the amount of homework that goes on at this level is more
Oh, it's incredible.
more
Yeah.
than people realise, and both teams will have done due diligence on the other. So there shouldn't be any secrets or many secrets.
Yeah. Well, even at this level, I mean, you just have to imagine what it's like at a Premier League game in this age. Oh, got a bit of hiccups there, I think, from the burger and chips. But
Yes, yeah, no, certainly at Premier League level, it's just way out there with the
yeah, oh,
tools they
definitely
have up
incredible.
there. It pales into insignificance here, doesn't it? But even so, even 10 years ago, I know we had a scout here at Gosport that Alex Pike the manager then, used to send out and watch teams about a week, 2 weeks before we played them.
Yeah, and bearing in mind this was a few years ago, and you just have to imagine in this day and age it would have massively improved. And Gosport, it looks like we're starting to figure out how they're playing. But like I said, watching their highlights, it just looks like they played a similar type of football. But from the ones I've seen, like their last game against Marlow, it was a comfortable win. Obviously, Marlow, they've only just come up, but they were on the front foot. They were doing heavy possession, heavy pressure. And I wonder if that's why they're starting to play back again today. Knowing Gosport, we're a similar team that likes to play a similar formation. Maybe we're forcing them to back off and not allowing them to play their game plan today.
What is it that Mike Tyson said, James?
Go on.
He said everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Oh, yeah.
So you can
yeah.
prepare as much as you like for a game of football, but then something will come up that means you have to change your plans and improvise. And that's exactly what the great man said about boxing. It's so true in football as well. You can do all the homework you want, you can do all the tactical preparation you want, but look at Gloucester. They've already lost one of their best players.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a massive.
They've had to reshuffle it.
Well, for any of the new viewers tuning in, it was Kieran Phillips. So Kieran Phillips, he scored 3 goals already this season, but he has been ruled out after being injured just in a little attack from Gloucester City. It has meant Emmett has come on. And Emmett, we haven't seen too much of him already, but like I said, even the early minutes, so he must have been on the pitch for 10 minutes. Looks like he's playing a much more winger position as opposed to a striker.
Yeah,
and I would have said they did look a lot better when they did have the 2 strikers up front.
Yeah, just watching him, he's on just jogging across the centre circle now. But yes, he's playing out on the wide left for them. Just coming a little bit narrower now, but I think a player of his calibre, I think, is if you have to bring on a sub for an injury, then what a player to bring on.
Well, I would say the perfect comparison is actually Samuel Fanian. So Samuel Fanian, traditionally a winger, at least what we saw from Hayes and Yedden, but he plays more winger. And then when Stanley and Dan Wooden have to come off, he has to go more narrow and he has to play that out-and-out striker. So that's the only comparison I can really think of. But Gosport, we have given the ball away in a deadly position. It's Grubb. He lays one across into Emmett, and he's gone in. And it's number 13, Joe Manx, who gets the goal. And I mean, Gloucester, it was a well-built attack there. It was Grubb on the edge of the box winning it. He passed it into Manx. Manx just dishing a low-driven shot into the bottom right corner, beating Gosney. And that's a great goal from Gloucester City. But it does mean Gosport do have a big mountain to climb here. We were talking about Emmett. He was the man who got the assist there, laying one across into Manx. Great finish. But Gosport, we got a huge mountain to climb now. And I mean, Jeremy, that's the first proper opportunity, I would say, within the whole 26 minutes. And I mean, Gloucester, they did take it well.
Yeah, one mistake, one goal, and that is exactly what you have to expect in a game that has been as tightly strung as this. It was one error in defence, and they punish you, bang, and that is. But then you go, then you think to yourself, it's still only 27 minutes in, the game's young. Gosport now just have to put that to the back of their minds, move on, start again. But you're tweeting,
Yeah.
so that's okay. I'll take over. I'm just amending my team sheet slightly. And yeah, Gloucester taking their time to get back for the restart. But if you have just joined us, it's now Gosport Borough 0, Gloucester City 1. One defensive mistake, one goal from Joe Hanks, taken really well actually. I wasn't quite sure whether it would go in. It sort of just went past Gosley's outstretched hand, hit the post, came back at almost a very acute angle and just nestled inside that far post to give Gloucester the lead. So Gosport now, that hard work, not gone to waste exactly, that's an exaggeration, but certainly it's a setback. Now, McIntyre drives forward for Gosport, over the halfway line he goes. Down the left-hand side, but Ashley Yearwood, and you back?
Yep, Ashley Yearwood, he's trying to dance past his Gloucester defence as he lays a through ball into Bradley Tarbuck. Can Gosport find this instant equaliser? But Tarbuck just runs into trouble there, running into Richard Everton, and it sees Gloucester, they're back on their counter-attack. It's goal scorer Manx on the ball inside his own half as he plays a lovely ball into Smalley, but Smalley just didn't time his run well there. Finley Wall-Smith and Joe Morrison doing well there, just playing the high offside trap, and in the end caught the striker off guard there, and I don't even think he realised he was offside.
No, it was only marginal, but enough. And that's that. So Gosport now go again, and they're trying to play out.
Well, if I'm Pat and Joe right now, I wouldn't be too worried, considering our first start to the game. We're playing attacking football, and we might just carve out another attack. As Harry Kavanagh, he's trying to keep it in play just near the right corner flag. It does run out of play, but as I was saying there, like Pat and Joe, they shouldn't be too worried from what we've seen in the opening 28 minutes, other than the goal.
Yeah, just some signalling from the Gloucester bench up into the stand. So I'm guessing they've got a man list sat in the stand here. But yeah, Gosport played really well, but obviously all good work slightly undone by that mistake and a really cool finish from Hanks. So Gosport have it all to do, but no way are they in the situation they were 3 weeks ago when they were 3-1 down to Basingstoke. And
Yeah, that's what I mean. A brilliant example.
So what you've got there amongst this Gosport Borough team is a refuse to lose attitude, and they're going to need to show that going forward now. They're a goal down. They're going to have to work twice as hard. Gloucester can afford to be a little more relaxed now without being overly so.
Well, Gloucester, they're back on the attack coming down this left wing. It's Emmett. He's trying to get on the ball. Joe Morrison, he's pushed to the floor, going over. It doesn't look like he's injured as Emmett. He's trying to help Joe Morrison up, but Joe Morrison, he's still on the floor, and that is worrying signs seeing Joe Morrison just by the advertising boards. He's holding his knee.
James. Yeah, he's okay. Well, we had obviously we had a Tiverton player go head first into
last weekend.
Yeah. But no, Joe's okay. He's just said to the ref, I'm fine. He'll dust himself off. He'll be back up. He's off the pitch, so the game will go on. They can't stop the game because he's actually off the pitch.
I was going to say, even if he is injured, we have got a lot of substitutions on the field today. We've got a full bench, Fanian. So if he was injured, we've got Searle, Lee, Agbesi, loads of defensive cover for him today.
And
Rory, yeah.
Not that I think Rory Williams will play much of a part in this game unless he has to, because he's still recovering from that injury. I think, assuming there's a result from today, they might look to introduce him against Dorchester, or if there is a replay, he'll play some part up at Gloucester.
Yeah. Well, Finley Wall-Smith, he did just bring down Dawson, just a shoulder to the Gloucester City man. He's gone down holding his back. It was a heavy challenge from the youngster there. I mean, just outside of the centre circle, he's still down. Alfie Stanley is just checking on the midfielder, checking if he's all right. I mean, I do think he's playing a little bit on that injury there. It did look a bit of a harsh one from Finley Wall-Smith, but it just looked like he was trying to get the ball and just doing a normal shoulder play like he does.
Clumsy and late, but no malice. But yeah, to be fair, we've had half an hour now, James, and it's not been a dirty game at all. It's been a really good game of football to watch. Tactically, it's been interesting. The goals shaped the game a little bit, but yeah, no, it's certainly been no malice between the teams here at all.
Well, Gloucester, they were just coming down the right-hand channel, but Richard McIntyre, he intercepted the ball as he tried to lift the ball high into the sky. It was won by Manx in the centre of the Gosport half, and it's just gone to the far right side. It was Finley Wall-Smith. He was challenging Redford on the ball there, scoring out for a throw-in just by I want to say by the left corner flag, around 10-ish yards away. It's going to be Richard McIntyre taking this throw in. But a lot of Gloucester players inside this Gosport half. Every outfield player is inside Gosport's half. So they are playing a pretty high line now. It's going to be Richard McIntyre taking his throw. He's going to want to throw it as far away from this danger zone. It's a long one, and Dan Wooden, he does turn, and it falls nicely to Alfie Stanley, who flicks it back into his fellow striker counterpart. It was just Dan Wooden. He's gone down. He's hobbling now, but it's just going to be one of those where he has to run it off. And it's gone out for another Gosport throw. Richard McIntyre taking it 10 yards away from the halfway line, still inside Gosport's half. Richard McIntyre, he's thrown to the floor. And now Gloucester City, they're on their attack. It's Manx who lays one across into Manx. And Manx fires one past Gosney. Once again in that near right corner, beats Gosney. And it was a defensive mistake. Richard McIntyre, he was pushed to the floor. He's complaining to the third official that a foul wasn't given. But it's once again another goal for Manx. He's second of the game, and Gosport already under a lot of pressure, and we're going to struggle to get back into this one.
Is that Manx again?
Yeah.
Grubbs.
Grubbs.
I thought it was the 10. Dale Grubbs. I thought it was the 10. So, okay, let's get that out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Gloucester City's second goal after 32 minutes. Scored by number 10, Dale Grubbs.
I mean, Jeremy, that has put a massive hole, and I would imagine that's going to change the whole of the game now.
Yeah, now Gosport will definitely have it all to do. 2-0 down. Really well taken finish. Now, I'm not surprised it was Grubb because he's played for Western-super-Mare and a lot of other big clubs. He's gained a lot of experience. And yeah, good finish. Cool finish. And again, no, it's come from a mistake.
I was going to say Richard McIntyre.
All come from an error.
And that is the one part of playing out from the back, like you were saying there. We were playing out from the back. Richard McIntyre just looked like he didn't have the physicality to defend that ball there.
There was no foul. It was just It was just sheer physical strength, and he's only a young lad, and now just seeing Dan Wooden get some attention from Liv Bailey, the Borough physio. He's had to come off, not permanently. He's just going to go out, and she's going to have a better look at him, and then he'll come back on, I suspect. But oh dear.
Yeah.
23 minutes gone. Gosport Borough 0, Gloucester City 2. 2 mistakes, 2 goals. That is the harsh truth of football, I'm afraid, especially when you're playing a team as well organised and as efficient as Gloucester City. And Gosport have it all to do. They're to remain in this famous Old Cup competition. They're going to have to do something special now. Now, James is tweeting, so Kavanagh nearly caught out. In fact, there was 3 Gloucester players on him there. Now, McIntyre's had to race back to pick up the ball. Got it back to Gosney. Gosney under pressure. Does manage to get a clearance, but that has gone over the Harry Mison stand and out of the ground onto the cricket pitch behind. So he did what he had to do. But Gosport now, what do? They're going to have to try and regroup. I would suggest that potentially as the ball is returned over the stand, so somebody clearly outside has helpfully thrown the ball back. What do? I think they need to try and survive the next 10 minutes now and just try and regroup. If they can find a goal in response before half-time, that would be helpful. But if not, let's not concede any more and just get into the interval at 2-0 and let Pat and Joe do their work in the dressing rooms. But yeah, disappointing.
Well, Gloucester, they're back on the attack, looking for their third. As Smalley, he touched it down well, trying to lay one back into the goal scorer Manx, who got their first goal. And it's worked all the way back into their goalkeeper now, Harvey in goal. And I would imagine the only sort of inspiration Gosport fans should have is following that Basingstoke game. Well, you were in a similar situation, but I mean, this is going to be tough in order to beat this Gloucester City team.
Yeah, I mean, we were 3-1 down, weren't we? 2-0 down and 3-1 down against Basingstoke, and still managed to get something out of it. But obviously, Gloucester are a very different proposition to Basingstoke, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. They're just 2 very different teams. Gloucester and Basingstoke present 2 different challenges, and I think what Gosport need to do now, like I said, steady the ship. Do not concede again before half-time. And try and get in there and just try and figure out how you tweak the game plan to try and get back in this game. And then you need an early goal in the second half, if not before.
Well, Finley Will-Smith, he tries to push a pass into Ashley Earwood. Ashley Earwood does well to keep it. It looked like it took a tiny deflection from Manx, but it must have fallen the last touch on the Earwood. As Gloucester City, they have been given a throw on the far side, just near the Harry Mison stand, 15 yards away from the halfway line, still inside Gloucester's half. The ball has been pushed back into Richard Everton inside the Gloucester City defence as the ball has been smashed backwards into Duffus. Duffus touches it down well, laying one into Regford. Regford, he tries to push a ball into Emma. Emma, the substitute, he loses the ball. Joe Morrison goes sliding in on goal scorer Manx. And Ashley Earwood, he's won the ball outside of the centre circle, playing it into Alfie Stanley. Alfie Stanley, he was pushed to the floor, yeah. Once again, the referee, he's not taken any of that today. Gosport have won a free kick, and Richard Effington, he will be receiving the first yellow in this game.
Yeah, it was clumsy.
It was, yeah.
Clumsy, but he was taking one for the team there, I think you'll find.
Well, Gosport, well, we've got a brilliant chance for a free kick here, and I would imagine, yeah, there has been a yellow plucked for Richard Everton.
Yeah.
Now he's going to have to be careful for the rest of the game.
Well, it's the old football sort of phrase, isn't it? You walk in the tightrope, and that's. I think it was a forward. I'm not sure. We'll ask our Gloucester colleagues to clarify that. Okay, well, we'll ask our Gloucester colleagues to clarify that. Four. Yeah. Thank you for that. So, yeah, it was Ty Duffus that was given the yellow card.
Well, either way, we're going to have a free kick 25 yards away from goal. It's Dutchy Hollinson Kavanagh hovering over this free kick. There's a 3-man wall in front of him. You do have to wonder, do they go for the shot from here? It would be an interesting way to go and have a shot. If they scored, it could very well be a goal of the tournament. As Kavanagh, he's going to leave it for Dutchy Hollins. Hollins, he floats in the ball, doesn't find the head of any Gosport players, but Tarbuck on the half volley, just sending a shot towards goal. Duffus got his body in front of the ball, and it falls back into Hollins. Hollins delivers across, finding the head of Duffus once again. He rises the highest, heading downwards, and it's well gathered by Dawson, who just plays a short pass into Grubb. Grubb, right of the area. He's forced him to run in and out of play, and good Gosport play there. But even better Gloucester defending.
Yeah, no, they were up to the task. I think Tarbuck's effort, difficult to tell, but I think it might have been going sort of on target.
Yeah, so, I would have said so.
Yeah, body in the way, and they're just doing what they have to do.
Well, Richard, Finley Will-Smith, he was on the halfway line, just playing it across into Richard McIntyre. Now it's into Alfie Stanley. Alfie Stanley dropping back inside his own half as Joe Morrison, he's on the ball, playing it back into goalkeeper Gosney. Gosney inside his own D. Does he go for a long ball or does he go for a short pass into Joe Morrison? He is going to go for that long ball, the hoof ball. Can it find Ashley Earwood? It can't. As it finds the head of Regford. Regford, he heads it forward. But the header, it does find Alfie Stanley. Alfie Stanley pinching the ball. He does go for a shot. Can't get any power or direction of the ball as he lays the ball pretty wide of the left post in the end. And with Alfie Stanley's form, you just would expect him to be doing better there. And there has been a player who has gone down. I want to say it's Manx, the goal scorer. He's holding his head.
It is Manx, yeah. No, Stanley panicked. It's a shame for Alf because he could have probably taken a few steps forward and then seen that he had the space and the time to get a better shot away, but I think he just panicked. Shot too soon, it lacked power and accuracy, and that's that.
Well, from that, Gloucester do have a goal kick. Still, Gloucester City 2, Gosport 0. So Gosport, we've got a huge mountain to climb in the last few minutes. We've got 5 minutes left of here at normal time and the whole of the second half, obviously. But Gloucester, they're currently back on the attack as Joe Morrison, he heads the ball down and just outside the box. He passes it into Dutchy Hollins, 10 yards away from the halfway line, still inside Gosport's half. Bradley Tarbuck, he scoops the ball forward, try and find the run of any Gosport attackers, but instead finds Richard Everton, the only man back in the Gloucester defence. He launches the ball forward and it does well to find the Emmett, and Emmett, he does work it on. Emmett, he might be set through as he lifts the ball over Finley Will-Smith, finds Kavanagh, and Kavanagh just does a short pass into Richard McIntyre. Richard McIntyre just nearly running into Manx there, but does well to pass it back into Will-Smith. Will-Smith into Tarbuck. Tarbuck, he's forced to play a back pass into Kavanagh, and just all the players, we're just trying to form this attack once again, and yeah, Tarbuck, he slices the ball into Marks. Marks wins it, and now Gloucester, they're back on the attack, and just more clumsy passing from Gosport. But finds the head of Dutchy Hollins. He heads it forward, and it does find Ashley Earwood. Ashley Earwood, he's pushed in the back by Richard Everton there. He passes back into Finley Will-Smith. Finley Will-Smith just really tussling up against Regford. Does well, and he is victorious, just winning a foul there. And Gosport, we have been given a free kick, 20 yards inside our own half. It is a short one back into Finley Will-Smith from Dutchy Hollins. And Dutchy Hollins, the former Pompey man, a lot of experiences. He scoops the ball forward. It looks like it might just find the run of Dan Wooden, left of the penalty box. Wooden, he touches it down, but no reception inside the box, and he can't find any Gosport players, and instead finds Manx. Manx does his defensive duties as he smashes the ball forward back inside our own half. And Dutchy Hollins there, scooping the ball over his head, doing a backwards pass. And just the ball pinball in between the two teams. neither team can really keep it under control here. But Manx doing well there, passing it back into Dawson. Dawson scooping one into Emmett. Emmett touches it down brilliantly just outside of the centre circle, still inside Gosport's half. And now Regford, he's on the ball as he's coming down the left-hand channel. He passes it into Emmett. Emmett touches it well, trying to get past Kavanagh. He doesn't get past Kavanagh. Kavanagh tracking back well and doing brilliant defensive duties as Kavanagh. He skips the ball forward, trying to find Alfie Stanley. But Dawson just getting in front of the short striker and skipping it out of play as Harry Kavanagh. He will be taking this throw in. Just 4 minutes left to play inside this half. It is Gloucester City 2, Gosport 0. One goal coming from Manx and the other coming from Grubbs. And two excellently finished efforts. But Kavanagh, he chucks a throw in back into Joe Morrison. Joe Morrison, he looks up as he passes it into Finley Ball-Smith. Finley Ball-Smith inside his own box. He's coming forward. Passing it into Asher Yearwood. Yearwood left of the centre circle as he lays one back into Finley Ball-Smith. Finley Ball-Smith, the young defender, into Asher Yearwood. Back into Ball-Smith. Pat and Joe calling for players to start running forward, marching up the field as Asher Yearwood, he's on the ball, scooping the ball forward, trying to find the run of Dan Wooden, but keeper Harvey does brilliant there, just getting to the edge of his box, denying the run of Dan Wooden and just making sure that the striker couldn't get any touch at all on the ball. And Harvey, he's just going to take all the time in the world, calling for his players to move up the field. But so far, Gloucester only had really two concrete efforts inside this half, making both of the efforts count. As Harvey, he smashes the ball forward, trying to find Smalley. And Gloucester, they are back on the attack as Scrub. He goes for a shot. And Ryan Gosney does brilliant, just palming the ball away and recovering brilliantly as well. As he rolls the ball back into Joe Morrison. But it was a good save there from Gosney in goal, just pushing it out, making sure the strike didn't go in. Otherwise, it could have been 3-0 Gloucester City. And Gosport just trying to come down this right-hand channel with Harry Kavanagh. He loses the ball into Dawson. Dawson just sticking out a leg, kicking it out of play just by the Gloucester City dugouts. It sees Harry Kavanagh taking his throw, and he's got Bradley Tarbart running towards him, Joe Morrison behind him. But Kavanagh, he wants to do this forward option, hoping to pass into Asher Yearwood. Yearwood, he looks around, but he's currently marked by Emmett. All Gosport players being marked at the moment, doing good marking, but a ball has been chucked forward into Alfie Stanley. Stanley gets ahead to it, passing it into Yearwood. And Gosport, it was just Dan Wooden there who loses the ball, playing a misread pass. But Kavanagh, he's won it back just by the halfway line. He's got Richard McIntyre running to the left of him, but it's not a great pass. Either way, it still goes back thanks to the back heel from Dawson, seeing it return into McIntyre. McIntyre back into Finley Ball-Smith. And Gosport, they're just coming back again, just playing it out from the back as Joe Morrison, he's marching up the field. A lot of options now in front of him, so he does have the reception. He does try and skip past Smalley. Smalley leaves the leg in. I would imagine the referee will be speaking to him. But Gosport, we have got a free kick, just edge of the right box. I mean, it's not a bad position, but literally just a minute left to play. And if we can grab a late goal here inside the first half, we'll change what Pat and Joe talk to the players. We'll change what the Gloucester City manager has to say. Still waiting the half-time whistle and just any added time. Maybe there isn't too much added time, as there hasn't really been too much. I'd say maybe 3-4, but nothing exceptional.
It's going for the board now because we are coming up to the end of the 45 minutes. Let's find out what he's doing.
But Bradley Tarbach and Dutchy Hollins hovering over this free kick, a two-man wall in front of him. As Hollins, he leaves it for Tarbach. Tarbach, he floats in a deep ball. It's going to find a head of Morrison, who just can't get any guidance on the ball. And it's see Gloucester once again count as Smalley. He's on the centre circle. But the referee has just indicated there will be 6 minutes added on. So plenty of time for Gosport to grab a goal. As it's Emmett coming down this left-hand channel. He's got Burns on the overlap and does choose Regford instead. Regford, he tries to launch a ball forward inside the Gosport box. It's well brought down by Grubb. Grubb, he plays it back into number 13, Marks, and Marks off the crossbar. Gosney was beaten there, and it really should have been Hank's second goal of the game. Now, Dutchy Hollins, we're trying to launch our second recounter. I mean, Gloucester, they had a perfect opportunity to get their third of the game, and it would have been Manx second as well. He's braced.
Hank's that was a let's off, wasn't it?
Really was.
The bar coming to Gosport's rescue because I think if that had gone in even this early.
Well, Gosport, we have won it, but the referee does blow up.
Yeah, no, I think that was very, very fortunate for Gosport. If that had gone in, I think even at this early stage, you're tempted to say there was no way back. Gosport, I think, have just let their frustration get the better of them just a little bit since the second goal went in. Now, Gloucester now just a little hurried. Now, James is tweeting, so I'll talk you through the next few seconds. Now, Gloucester going long up towards the substitute Harry Emmett, but Gosport do win possession and promptly lose it again. There's a good old midfield battle there with Asher Yearwood losing out, but Hollands for Gosport does retrieve the ball, picks out Kavanagh on the right-hand side near the dugouts here, just underneath our commentary position. Kavanagh trying to pick out a pass forward to Yearwood, but Gloucester intercepts. Just needs to be that little bit better, that final pass. Just needs to be a little better than that.
Well, Gloucester City, they were just trying to get a ball back out into Emmett down in this left-hand channel. The ball has gone out, and it will be I think it's a Gloucester's thrown. But Emmett, I have to admit, I didn't think he had a lively start to when coming on, but the last 10 minutes in particular, he has been a menace down the left wing channel and linking up lovely with Manx in the centre of the park.
Yeah, he's been a brilliant addition. I know
Yeah.
that his coming on the pitch wasn't planned, but since he's been on, he's been extremely effective for Gloucester down that left-hand side. And yeah, when you've got sort of the quality.
Well, it's Wooden who just sliced the pass across into Alfie Stanley. Stanley now running at the Gloucester defence as he lays across into trying to find Asher Yearwood, but instead finds the head of Dawson who heads it backward. It's going to be kept in play by Asher Yearwood in the far side, just down this left-hand channel, as he dances past the Gloucester defence, left of the penalty box, lays on the cross into Holland, and Holland chipped it towards the net. And it was so close to finding Gosport a goal. Just hit the crossbar, went over, and what a chance that would have been. Brilliant from Asher Yearwood, and the shot wasn't too bad from Hollins either.
Hit the bar, so no, not bad at all. It was a curling effort, and it was sort of swinging away, but it hit the bar. But that's the first time that Gosport have seriously threatened Gloucester all afternoon. And may we see more of that in the second half, because they absolutely need to be doing that again. But what a chance that was when we had 3 minutes of the 6 added on played.
Yeah.
Now, you've got me again, listeners, because James is multitasking. This is what we do here. So the game has restarted, and Gloucester just trying to figure out what path through the left-hand channel there with Morrison and Cam Murray blocking the path there of Brandon Smalley. Now Smalley back on the ball now with Holland for company, but he's managed to thread a pass very quickly. In fact, in the time it takes me to say that, you've got Dale Grubb there on the edge of the area, and Hanks, the goal scorer, Grubb, the other goal scorer, linking up well. The two goal scorers linking up together for Gloucester there. And Gloucester just being patient. They're sort of taking the ball out far wide on the right-hand side. And they're in no rush, the visitors. They've got a 2-goal lead, so why should they? And Holland's just trying to slow the attack with a bit of a... It had to be a good challenge, otherwise that was going to be a yellow card for sure. And Gosport do win the throw, but a prolonged spell there of Gloucester possession as we move into the 4th minute of the 6 added on, James.
Well, as we were just saying there, we had a brilliant opportunity to gather at least one goal before the first half ends. And who knows, maybe we could still grab that late goal as Asher Yearwood, he passes back into Finley Ball-Smith. Finley Ball-Smith, he hasn't been bad today in defence. And so far since coming in this season in replacement of Charlie Vasmer, he has done brilliantly in that centre-back role as he floats the ball forward, trying to find Richard McIntyre. Richard McIntyre can't keep it in play. Looked like the pass just too high, too hit. And just unlucky it wasn't kept in play. And Gloucester, they will take a throw in. And I would imagine we are just approaching the end of this first half. It is Gloucester City 2, Gosport 0. One goal coming from Manx and the other coming from Grubb. And in the end, Jeremy, I suppose Gloucester, they haven't had many chances, but they have made their chances count.
Well, they've seized on 2 defensive errors from Gosport Borough. That's what they've done. And then you've had 2 excellent finishes from 2 excellent players. And that's proved the difference. And then Gosport coming close there with Holland hitting the bar. Yeah, we've got about a minute of the 6 left. And then there'll be time for Gosport to go in and just regroup, really, and just sort of see what they can do to change things. Because at the moment, Gloucester are completely in command of this cup tie. There's no other way of looking at it.
Well, if you're Pat and Joe now, what will you be saying to the boys at half time? And what substitutions would you be looking at making? Maybe bringing Fanian on, Ethan Jones for a little bit of entertainment?
First substitution I would make, if I was in their shoes, would be Fanian on. Now, but then who for? Do you change Wooden because he's been a bit isolated this afternoon?
I'd probably,
Because Yearwood's been industrious without any end product, but down Wooden and Alfie actually has been shackled really well by the Gloucester City defence.
Well, it looked like that was the game plan from the start. And Emmett, he just tumbled legs there with Finley Ball-Smith. Seen both players go down, but it was Ryan Gosney just outside his box. Cool under pressure, so he laid a pass into Cameron Murray. And the referee has now blown up for half-time. So it is Gloucester City 2, Gosport 0. One goal coming from Grubb and the other coming from Hanks. But yeah, we will return back for commentary in the second half, but it has finished Gloucester City 2, Gosport 0.
Possibly, because you'd have had him on the left instead of McIntyre.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half commentary, where Gloucester have just kicked off us for the second half, where Gloucester, they're leading 2-0, one coming from inform striker Joe Hanks and the other coming from Dale Grubb. But Gosport, we really do need to look at getting back in this half. I have heard there's been just a few spelling mistakes, so that's why the tweets have just been a little bit off today. But but Gloucester, they're 2-0 up against Gosport. I mean, Jeremy, what mountain we've got to climb in the second half in order to get a result.
It's a tough ask, James. There's no doubt about it. But if Gosport can get a goal back early doors, then it's game very much back on. But what they cannot afford to do is make another error and give Gloucester a third, because if they get another one, I think that's good night.
Well, you said it there. Get a goal now. We're backing it instantly. But yeah, just really need to be getting the goal as soon as possible as he would. He's just by the Gloucester dugouts as he leaves a throw in for Richard McIntyre, one which Richard McIntyre will be taking. He was a key part of the second goal, but he does look to redeem himself as it was passed into Dan Wooden outside of the box. He tried to scoop one back into Stanley, but it was just well read there by Duffus in centre back role as Richard McIntyre, just by Pat and Joey's dugout, he passes back into Finley Ball-Smith. And Jeremy, I mean, the two Gloucester goals came from two defensive mistakes, but I mean, the finish is exceptional to say the least.
Absolutely right. Yeah, exceptional finishes. But it was lovely to actually hear the comments of our colleagues from Gloucester who are here within the press box with us, saying literally for the second half began that that's the best football they've seen played against them this season. That's lovely, and it just shows you how Gosport have played so well, but blotted their copybook with those two errors. Two fantastic finishes from two top draw players.
Well, I'd say that score is pretty misleading. If you would have been here at the first half and you would have seen Gosport, I mean, we were the better team for the first 20 minutes, but just chances, we didn't make them count. We did have late one, albeit one coming from Dutchy Hollins, scooping the ball onto the crossbar, and I would imagine if that was just a little bit further down and that went in the back of the net, would be a completely different half and game now.
It would have certainly given Gosport a bit of a boost going into the interval, yes, because at the moment they're on the defensive again as we're speaking, but and it's a corner to the visitors as I speak. But yeah, let's just see how this plays out.
Well, yeah, like you were just saying, Gloucester do have a corner here. One pillar is currently blocking it, so I can't see who's going to be taking this corner. Oh, so it's going to be Grubb taking this corner. It could very well be Yep, so it's going to be Grubb taking it. I'm just trying to work out all the players currently inside. No, it's going to be their number 10. No, it is Grubb. Dale Grubb, yeah. Just that we have got three very unfortunate pillars just currently blocking our view, so it's pretty restricted. But Grubb, he floats one in towards the near post. It's well dealt with by Harry Kavanagh. He pretty much just as a bullet header forward, trying to escape the danger zone. But 12 puts it back. Walters, it did find the head there of Hanks. Hanks just diving on the floor. I mean, already got one goal. The league's top goal scorer as well, Hanks, and he shows exactly in the first half why he's the league's top goal scorer.
Well, if there's other goals or anything like that one, then yeah, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And it's good that Gloucester can sort of field those types of players. But Gosport have got a lot of spirit. They've got a lot of determination. They've come back from a 2-goal deficit already this season, so they've got it in them. But what they can't afford to do is waste time. They're going to have to get that. They're going to have to strike that blow and strike it early. So if they do that, then I think Gloucester might just have something to think about. But at the moment, what Gloucester can do is manage the game because they have a 2-0 lead and they can manage it.
Well, the good thing is, only promising signs I would say is Gloucester's past form. So looking at a lot of their last games, I mean, they conceded in their last two games, only kept 2 clean sheets this season, but only conceded 4 goals all season. But recently, promising. Over the season, not so promising, their defensive record.
Yeah, that shows though in the way that they're playing defensively. You can see how organised they are, and that's why Gosport are going to have to just think about what they're doing and just try and find something a little bit extra special and a little bit clever to try and sort of deceive the defence and find the chance that they need to take.
Well, Gloucester there, they were just doing very good defensive duties like they've been doing all game, and we were just talking about. And it has eventually worked to a counter-attack with Mitt storming down this left-hand channel, trying to scoop a ball forward into Hanks, and Hanks just trying to skip one past Gosney in goal. It did narrowly just go past his legs, I want to say, but it just took a harsh deflection off the left kneecap, meaning Gosney could pretty easily cover it up in the end. But you just would imagine there, Jeremy, if Hanks had a little bit more power towards that shot, it could have been 3 there.
Yeah,
great position.
Certainly an opportunity to make it 3 there for Gloucester, but Yearwood is a bit of an enigma as he ever
Yeah.
is, and He's just trying to forage down the left-hand side there.
While Dutchy Hollins, he's scooping the ball, trying to find Ashley Yearwood, and it's brilliantly turned left of the penalty box, just trying to get past Duffus there, the centre back. Duffus holding his man, Ashley Yearwood, but Yearwood just doing enough to get a throw in. Around 10 yards away from the left corner flag, it's going to be Richard McIntyre taking this throw as he passes back into Finley Will Smith. Finley Will Smith on the outside of his boot, he passes back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh in the centre of the park as he pretty much plays Kavanagh through on the overlap. Now it's Tarbuck in the right of the penalty box. He scoops in a ball, just trying to find a Gosport player, but it's sprung down by Cameron Murray. Murray skipping past a number of Gloucester the defenders there. He passes back into Richard McIntyre, back into Murray. Murray looking at trying to storm at this Gloucester defence. He passes back into Dutchy Hollins, being surrounded by white bodies. Dutchy Hollins, he plays a lovely through ball, finding the legs of Tarbuck, and Tarbuck trying to find Richard McIntyre. The referee's claiming it was a goal kick. Richard McIntyre not happy there, saying it should have been a corner. But I think the last touch did come off of the young defender there.
100% goal kick. And a word to the referee, actually, Lewis Sando. He is one of the best referees I've seen.
Yeah, he's been solid.
And he doesn't make many mistakes. Obviously, any human being can make a mistake, but he doesn't make many. And I've seen him officiate here a number of times down the years. And he is one of the better referees you'll come across.
Well, albeit, let's be real, the referee hasn't really had too much to deal with today. I would have said the game's flowed nicely, and even though we're 2-0 down, it has been a nice game to watch today.
Yeah, and I think the referee hasn't had a lot to do, but certainly that's a credit to the two teams.
Well, I was just watching there. I'm trying to watch what Harry Lee's doing. He's currently just outside the dugouts. He is listed as a substitute, but it doesn't look like he's coming on. Although we may have needed him as Gloucester, they're coming forward. It was Dawson just striding down. He was brought down there by Dutchy Hollins. Hollins goes sliding on two players. He hasn't received any foul or any cards, but it did look like it was a pretty harsh challenge. But either way, it's Burns coming down this right-hand stretch, the right back. He's still trying to get past Richard McIntyre. And once again, McIntyre, he's outstrengthed on the ball as the ball has been played into Walters. Walters across the face of goal. It looked like it just hit the... I'm not sure if it hit the post and fell nicely to Gosney there. But either way, the keeper was beaten and it just fell nicely to him in the end.
I think it was a big ricochet off his own defender, actually.
Like I said,
actually, for a heart-stopping moment there, James, I thought that was going to end up as an OG.
I was going to say, yeah.
But no, Gosney was alert enough.
Well, I'm not sure who was the defender there. Like I said, I had two pillars there in the way.
But my view was partially obstructed as well. But whoever it was very fortunate that didn't go either side of the goalkeeper.
Well, Dutchy Hollins, he's outside the centre circle, looking to play a through ball, trying to play Richard McIntyre for on goal. One of his biggest attributes is pace. He was winning the pace battle there. Duffus, he went sliding in, just making sure Richard McIntyre couldn't get on the ball. He has collided into the advertising boards. He has got up pretty quickly, though. I wouldn't imagine it's a serious injury, just one way he clattered into the advertising boards and may have just rolled over his ankle.
His back, though, so he's on the pitch, so the game will stop. And waiting for Liv Bailey to appear, but no, he's the Gosport video. She's on watching brief, but he's back on his feet.
Well, Gosport, we do have a corner from that attack there. It's going to be Bradley Tarbuck taking this corner. Harry Kavanagh has gone close to him, but it just looks like Tarbuck wants to go for that long option.
Yeah, McIntyre's limping, so he is hurt, but he's going to try and carry on.
Well, nothing was made from the corner as it falls all the way back into Cameron Murray, just outside the centre circle. Now back into Richard McIntyre. He scoops the ball forward, trying to find the head of Dan Wooding. And Joe Morrison's battling towards the ball. The referee blows up, saying Joe Morrison was just too heavy on the defender there, tugging the shirts. But unfortunately, we have just seen Richard McIntyre has gone down again. And I would imagine this will be a sub now for Gosport.
Let's see. I mean, Liv Bailey will go out and assess him. And Liv sort of has worked with the AFC Bournemouth Academy, so there's not much about the human anatomy she doesn't know about. So she'll go and have a look. And she's certainly holding his ankle, definitely, and that's where he hit the barrier. So I think we're just going to have to wait.
And she is calling for a substitution, so there will be a sub, and I would imagine it will be Rory Williams. That would be the most like-for-like replacement.
How fit is he? So we're going to have to see. Possibly they might put Paul Agbesi on there and sort of
Agbesi would. I would like to see Agbesi actually. Yeah,
he's definitely done.
Well, either way, Richard McIntyre will be the person coming off. Paul Agbesi is heading towards Pat and Joe, so it does look like he will be the man coming on, as Jeremy just alluded to there. And to be honest, it's a substitution where I'm more than happy to see Paul Agbesi coming on.
Agbesi's coming on, boys. Just to let you know. Right.
But yeah, it does look ever more likely.
Yeah, I think it should be him.
Well, we're just waiting to see the signal board. It may just be one of those substitutions where we play for 10 men for a few minutes, just let well,
Well, the
at
game
best,
will
get
have
all
to go
sorted.
on because the substitution's not been indicated.
Mm.
So the game will have to start again. Gosport temporarily down to 10. Now, is Liv Bailey just going to try and give him a bit of treatment, patch him up and send him out, or is it literally is going to be a change? No, it is a change because
Yeah.
Mark Underhill, the Director of Football Operations, has gone out to the fourth official with the details of the sub.
So that will be confirmed. Yeah, we're just waiting for that. As Alfie Stanley, he's also gone off the pitches. No, I think it's Henry Sell coming on.
No, it's Henry. Really?
Now that is a shock if he's a
No,
player
it's Henry
coming on.
Sell. I'm completely wrong. No, it's Henry Sell. Sorry, my bad. Ladies and gentlemen, Gosport Borough substitution coming on number 12, Henry Sell, to replace number 18, Richard McIntyre.
I mean, Jeremy, nobody expected that in the
No
press
one saw
box.
that one
I mean,
coming.
Henry Sell, such a young defender, and you would have just thought any other defender, little experience in the league. But I mean, he's going to have a big opportunity today to prove himself.
He's a youngster. To be fair to Henry, a massive moment that is for him. A big, big moment that is for him to go out there and prove himself because obviously he played against Winchester City on Wednesday in the Hampshire Senior Cup, had a good game by all accounts, and now he is going to be into the limelight. Then that is a big moment. So let's see how he does. I think it's he's playing in the back four.
I was going to say, he's got the leadership qualities, albeit. I mean, captain of the under-18, he's gone unbeaten. He's going to have to do some defensive work here. As Gloucester, they're back on the attack.
James, bit of a difference in
Hugh,
quality,
yeah.
but we'll see how he does. Now, Danny Holland's just using his weight there to just dispossess Gloucester City, and Gosport do clear their lines, but only for a matter of moments. Gloucester win the ball back here with Dale Grubb, and Gloucester having to go back, and it's been dispossessed there. It's Dan Wood on the left-hand side of the area, but the cross immediately cut out there. Good work from Ty Duffus there, the defender for Gloucester. But Gosport have it back. Hollins, over to you.
Hollins back into Murray, left of the channel as he passes it into Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden can get on the end of it, left of the box, and swipes the ball against the face of goal. Unfortunately, no yellow bodies on the end of the cross there just to tap it home. You couldn't have asked for a much better cross there from Dan Wooden, and you really just would have hoped there would have been some reception on the end of that cross there, Jeremy.
Yeah, that needed just someone to take a touch, because unusually Gloucester was sliced wide open there, and that's the first time this afternoon you can actually say that about the visitors. That just needed a yellow shirt in the middle, and that would have been 2-1.
Nearly 60 minutes inside this game. It is Gloucester City 2, Gosport 0. Half an hour just to find that goal. And I mean, well, 2 goals. At least 1 goal would at least give us a little bit of momentum. That's all that is needed. But Gosport, we are the team currently with all the momentum as we are riding another attack as Alfie Stanley. He does brilliant to play Ashley Yearwood from goal. Yearwood just playing it inside, chopping, and it's got the ball in the bottom left corner. Who needs Cole Palmer when you've got cold Ashley Yearwood chopping inside, chopping backwards, dancing past this Gloucester defence? You couldn't have asked for a much better finish there. You can see the stands there fully erupting. Ashley Yearwood slot one past Harvey and goal. You could not have asked for a much better finish there from Ashley Yearwood. Just one moment of brilliance inside this game, and immediately Gosport are back inside this game. What a finish from Ashley Yearwood.
Gentlemen, the goal for Gosport scored after 58 minutes by number 8, Ashley Yearwood.
Jeremy, one word to describe that. Disgusting from that attacker. Beautiful play.
Was precision. Precision, wasn't it? The way he went past two. Didn't panic, and the finish was exquisite. Now, Gosport have a lifeline here, James, and here they come again. Their tails are up. Kavanagh plays it out to Cam Murray on the right-hand side now. Down the right-hand side he comes, just cuts inside. He hooks up well with Kavanagh once more. 2 Gloucester defenders slow his progress down. But again, Kavanagh just keeps hold of the ball intelligently. Henry Sell, a big moment for that young man. Hollands with a deep cross in. Gloucester do deal with it just enough. Should go for the goal kick, and it is offside, in fact. The flag's gone up for offside. So a good chance there for Gosport. Yeah, maybe a bit of shirt pulling as well. So a bit of a trifecta there that Gosport have sort of come up with there to sort of fall foul of the referee. But it is now Gosport Borough 1, Gloucester 2. Maybe, just maybe, this game isn't done, because it was looking very done just before half-time. But Gosport have found a way back in, and this sets up a very interesting last half an hour, because we have now hit the hour mark here at the AI Stadium. Gosport 1, Gloucester 2. And is there going to be another twist
Well,
to the tail?
I was just speaking about that important word, momentum, there, and I think that's given Gosport a lot of momentum. But unfortunately, Gloucester, they're back on the attack. It's Emmett down this left-hand channel, left of the penalty box. He passes into Regford. Regford launches in a ball into Finley Wall-Smith, who headers it away. And Gosport just really need to defend well here.
Yeah, whistle's gone there, offside against Gloucester City as they go forward. But yeah, that's sort of made this game a little bit more interesting now. And Gloucester may be privately feeling a little twitchy now because they've been comfortably in control of this for the last, I'd say the last half an hour or so, but of the game. But now Gosport have found a lifeline. They found a foothold. But it is up to them now, James, isn't it? It's down to them to see what they make of it.
Well, this is going to really show a lot of making and what Gosport are made of now.
Well, they've done it before, they can do it again, and they're going to have to do it again. One more means it's 2-2, and they're on the cusp of a replay at Gloucester on Tuesday. If that's how it finishes.
Well, who says we can't look for the winning now?
Well,
I mean, plenty of time.
There is that as well. There is just under half an hour to play, so there is time for all sorts of outcomes to present themselves. And here we go again, Gosport on the edge of the area. Alfie Stanley! Good opportunity for Stanley there. But his shot was always rising, was never going to trouble Nathan Harvey, James.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we just said there, it is now Gloucester City 2, Gosport 1, and Gosport now starting to ride our form and showing what we were made of. Alfie Stanley launching the ball over the crossbar there, just needed to keep it a little bit under there, just trying to focus more on accuracy rather than power there. But just unlucky there from Alfie Stanley. And Ash Yearwood's goal, something beautiful. You would only expect a Premier League player to reproduce something like that.
That was exquisite.
I mean, he's giving me hiccups now from the excitement.
That was exquisite. And also his first goal here at the AEI in front of the Gosport Borough fans who can only attend home games, because thus far he's only scored away from home. So that's a nice touch as well. But, Walsh Smith here, let's see what the young man can do, linking up with another young man.
Oh yeah, Henry Sell. And Henry Sell, he's looked promising since coming on, controlling that right centre-back position pretty well and linking up nicely with Kavanagh. Now Alfie Stanley inside Gloucester's half as he passes back into youngster Henry Sell, captain of the under-18s, and he's got a huge opportunity today in this FA Cup. It is Gloucester City 2, Gosport 1, as Dutchy Hollins is on the ball, just on the halfway line, passing it into Asher Yearwood, who just moments ago scored perhaps the goal of the season contender. But Asher Yearwood, he's coming forward, slicing the ball forward into Cameron Murray. Murray trying to play Alfie Stanley through on goal. Can Alfie Stanley get on the end of it? He can't, as Regford does brilliantly there, just doing well, getting in front of the striker, while also passing back into Harvey in goal before Harvey smashes it into the Harry Mitson stand, going out for a Gosport throw-in in which Harry Kavanagh will be taken. I mean, all Gosport players look really up for it now, Jeremy. It looks like the heads have fully lifted, and that's just the incredible thing of just scoring at least one goal in this cup tie.
Yeah, they've got just over 20 minutes left to try and sort of find a way back in now. And I was just thinking to myself as you were saying that, I think substitutions are going to come into play.
Yeah.
Gosport's bench potentially
Well,
you'd be seeing the likes of Agbessi or Fanian. But Gloucester, look at that. What's just a one change?
Yeah.
And they've got some quality players on there that they can put on. So I think it's a case of the substitutions might have a huge impact in the last 20 minutes.
By Dutchy Hollins, he's strolling down this left-hand channel, chipping in the ball. Can it find Cameron Murray? It's excellently brought down. Left for Alfie Stanley to shoot, but he's short, goes straight into Richard Everton, sticking his body in front, but it falls nicely to Kavanagh. Kavanagh into Yearwood, outside of the box. Yearwood, he's still dancing past the defence before chipping in a ball, trying to find Stanley, but instead finds Richard Everton, just sticking his head in front of the ball. But once again, it falls kindly for Gosport. Cameron Murray inside the ball, midway inside this Gloucester City half. He rolls the ball back into youngster Henry Sell. Henry Sell looks up, skimming the ball across into Asher Yearwood. Yearwood in the right-hand pocket into Kavanagh. Kavanagh, he's now cutting inside, looking to march down the pitch, trying to play a pass into Alfie Stanley. Richard Everton, he once again, he just jockeys back well, tracking back well before launching the ball out, but it falls to Cameron Murray. And yeah, two balls just on the pitch there. For a second, I thought it was a Gloucester City manager who kicked it on.
Not for long. That Tarbuck down just launched the ball back.
Whilst Cameron Murray, he's still strolling down the pitch as he lays one back into Bradley Tarbuck. Tarbuck just can't get his feet sorted, but still doing well. Now he's just pacing Burns down this left-hand channel, doing well to get past Burns, but he can't get past Duffy. He sticks out a leg, seeing it go out for a Gosport throw. All momentum is currently surrounding Gosport as Cameron Murray passes back into Finley Wall-Smith. Finley Wall-Smith turning Duffy as he passes back into Murray. Murray into Asher Yearwood. Yearwood brought down to the floor, but still does enough to pass it back into Murray. Kavanagh just can't keep hold of the ball, which sees Dawson chip it forward into Smalley. Smalley trying to get past Joe Morrison, but Joe Morrison being an absolute wall inside this Gosport defence, not letting anything pass it now. Now, Ashley Yearwood, he's coming back down this left-hand channel, still chopping inside, and I'm guessing he might like some meat chops tonight because he is doing all sorts of chopping in this game today. But it's back into Finley Walsh-Smith, and that's gone into Henry Snell. Now, Henry Snell, he's storming at this Gloucester City midfield, laying one back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh into Alfie Stanley. Stanley outside of the boot into Dan Wooden. Wooden flicks it back into Yearwood. Yearwood chipping it into Tarbo. Tarbo just threw open in front of goal. Can he slot it? He can't. A brilliant save from Harvey, but falls to Yearwood. And Yearwood with a real wasted opportunity, slamming one over the crossbar. Just couldn't keep his shot under the bar. Once again, an excellent opportunity. A Gloucester City player has gone down. Asher Yearwood with his hands on his head, knowing he really should have done better. But I mean, he's scored one excellent goal, so we can't really hold too much against him. Just unlucky with that shot. I mean, Jeremy, once again, Gosport had an excellent chance to get that equaliser, and it looked like Alfie Stanley nearly found it there.
Yeah, Gosport are banging on the door rather loudly now, and Gloucester, for the first time, are looking a little uncomfortable. Okay, but certainly now there's a player down for Gloucester being assessed, and yeah, it's in the balance now.
Well, I would have to think, from a tactical point of view, if you're one of these managers down there, Pat and Joe, I would imagine they just want to leave the team really intact because at the moment, everything's working. Seems like everything's going well. I mean, you can see our tactic and our analysis. They're just talking with Henry Searle. But you would want to think Gloucester City, their manager, would want to be making the changes just to try and, disrupt this Gosport presence currently forming at the moment.
Yeah, well, Mike Cook's an experienced manager for Gloucester, and I think he won't be panicking. I think if Gosport were to go to 2-2, then he might choose to change things. But at the moment, they still lead, and if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't be in a rush to change things yet. Underscore that.
But still 20 minutes at least left to go in this game. It is Gloucester City 2, Gosport 1. And currently Gosport, we are the team looking for that goal. And we've had the better chances in this second half. Stan Wooden, he's fighting for a ball. He's just pushed in the back there by Duffus as he launches a ball forward, trying to find Finley Walsh-Smith. As Walsh-Smith, he headers it backwards into Joe Morrison. Joe Morrison always so cool under pressure as he smashes a ball forward. It looks like it's going to find Regford inside his own half. Will he let it go out of play? He will let it go out of play for a throw-in. By Gosport, we are just looking for that second. I mean, I can see Samuel Fanan. He's currently just warming up. You've got two more Gosport players warming up as well as Gloucester's number 20. So I'm just trying to work out who that is. King Baidu.
Yeah, he's warming up for the visitors as well. So that's what I mean. I mean, both managers have got cards they can play. It's going to be interesting to see what the managerial strategies are going to be from here.
Tarbuck, he's striding forward. Can he get past this Gloucester City defence? He's chopping inside, trying to skip past the multiple defenders, but he just runs into too many defenders there, that being the issue. But it doesn't matter as the clearance falls kindly for Dutchy Hollins as he passes back into Finley Walsh-Smith. Dutchy Hollins in this left-hand channel just by the Gloucester City dugouts. He passes back into Finley Walsh-Smith. Walsh-Smith being excellent defensively, and every Gosport player so far in this game, we really have looked a really promising side within this game as Dutchy Hollins there, scooping the ball, finding the body of Asher Yearwood. Once again, brings it down excellently as he lays one back into Tarbuck. Tarbuck back into Henry Searle inside the centre circle. The young under-18 captain, he passes it into Kavanagh, right of the Gloucester City half as he storms forward, passing it into Yearwood. Yearwood, he skips it out into the left pocket, which is Dutchy Hollins. Hollins, he tries to slice a through ball into Kavanagh. Kavanagh left of the penalty box. He's got Hollins arriving on the overlap, but goes for Murray out of the centre circle as he tries to pass it into Searle. It looked like Searle was just trying to scoop a ball into the danger zone. Falls to Cameron Murray. Murray passing it back into Kavanagh. Now Kavanagh looking at producing a cross. It nearly just matched up kindly with the run of Alfie Stanley, but it's now gone in the left-hand channel with Dutchy Hollins. Hollins launching in the ball, trying to find Dan Wooden, but Dan Wooden can't get anything on it as it goes into the other flank now into Emmett. Emmett, a left winger, he's currently playing a more left-back role as Asher Yearwood, he's in the ball around probably middle of the Gloucester City half. There will be a substitution made. I would imagine this will be for Gloucester City as Finley Walsh-Smith, he's inside the centre circle, passing it into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins, he's now running forward, passing it out into Bradley Tarbuck. Tarbuck, he looks up. He's got Hollins back on the overlap behind him, but chooses to pass into Cameron Murray, centre of the park. He passes into Tarbuck, and that's a lovely back heel into Cameron Murray inside Gloucester's box. He tries to pass back into Kavanagh, but just not a strong enough pass. Sees it return into Gloucester possession, and once again, it's smashed forward. Once again, finds the defence of Gosport. Gosport really searching for this goal. As Taji Hollins, he tries to turn, winning the ball. Instead wins the free kick. Just too heavy there, Dawson on the midfielder. Doing well, actually, to win Gosport a free kick. Around 25 yards away from goal in his left-hand pocket. And there will be a yellow card produced to Burns. And there has been a substitution made. It's going to be number 13 coming off for 20. So it's going to be Hanks. Had an absolute brilliant game. And in return, he's going to be coming on for King Baidu.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gloucester City substitution coming on number 20, King Baidu, replacing number 13, Joe Hanks.
And Jeremy, you would only imagine that's going to be a defensive change, bringing off one of their main strikers for a more defensive route.
Well, he's done his job, hasn't he, Hanks? Great goal in the first half. And I also think he's carrying a knock.
Yeah.
He looks very, very heavy-footed as he comes off. It doesn't look in the sort of most comfortable. So, but yeah, we'll see how this alters the complexion of the game now, James.
Well, it's going to be Bradley Tarbuck taking this free kick that we were just talking about in this left-hand channel. What can Bradley Tarbuck do here? Will he float in a ball? Will he do a short pass? We're going to find out now as he does float in a ball. Just narrowly looked like it was going in the route of Ashley Yearwood, but instead find Richard Everton's there. And now the substitute Baidu, he's on the ball. Now he's a lot of pace. He's striding down the centre of the park, skipping past Kavanagh and playing a lovely through ball into Grob. Grob going for a shot, and it took a harsh deflection. Brilliant defensive work there from Harry Kavanagh, sticking his body in front of the ball, seeing the ball go over the crossbar, and what a deflection that was there.
And what an impact from the substitute.
Yeah, just showing what he's made of. The pace, ridiculous.
Introduction to this game for Baidu, and certainly engineered that chance there, and I think he's going to be an absolute handful. I really do.
Well, let's hope that doesn't change the game too much, but we will be making a substitution as well.
Preparing a substitution as well, by the look of that.
Well, it's going to be Grubb, the goal scorer. He's going to be taking this corner. The other one has gone off, so can Grubb find an assist now to go with his goal as he lifts his hand in the air, floats in the ball, and it's going to be gobbled up by Gosney in goal. Brilliant save there, just grabbing both mitts on the ball. And he looks to bowl one out into Kavanagh, and that can Gosport catch Gloucester on the counter-attack. It's Ashley Yearwood, he's in acres of space coming down this right-hand channel. Dutchy Hollins, Alfie Stanley making moves in front of him. But Yearwood, he's just forced to turn back as there was no reception or passes in front of him. He passes back into Henry Searle into Finney Walsh-Smith inside the centre circle. Walsh-Smith, he's looking up, he's trying to find a pass as he lays one back into Bradley Tarbuck. Tarbuck back into Joe Morrison. Morrison across into Henry Searle outside the centre circle. He lays a through ball into Kavanagh. Well brought down by Kavanagh. He's got Ashley Yearwood running towards him. Ashley Yearwood, edge of the box. He's in space once again. He lays one back into Cameron Murray. Murray going for a shot. And once again, it's a good deflection there from Richard Everton. Doesn't fall kindly to Campbell. But yeah, Joe Morrison, he tries to just lift the ball forward, and it's well brought down by Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden is tripped. The referee doesn't give anything. Dan Wooden's furious with that. So is all the Gosport fans, as it did look like that was a clear foul there.
A bit of a tub on the shirt. Got one eye on the bench though, James, and McIntyre is still receiving treatment off the pitch from Olivia Bailey. But we're also watching for that expected substitution.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, it looks like he's still got his...
But hey, play goes on, and
well, Hollins, he does a short pass into Tarbuck, left-hand channel into Yearwood. Yearwood, the goal scorer. He tries to flick one back into Tarbuck, but well intercepted by Baidu, who's been brilliant since coming on within the last 2 minutes. I mean, literally can't have probably another 15 minutes, I want to say, left here at the AI Stadium, but it's Gloucester City 2, Gosport 1. You're listening to Gosport Radio, and Gosport desperately searching for our equaliser as Gloucester City defending well. Dawson hacking a ball forward. It does find Joe Morrison there, the head of Joe Morrison. And now Ashley Yearwood, he's currently tussling with Baidu. And there's a lot of fights going on. And there is a yellow card. I would imagine a yellow will be going to Ashley Yearwood. And a lot of brawls going on.
This just needs people to calm down now. It's a bit of a flashpoint down below. And the fourth official was straight out there. Didn't really see this, so I can't comment. But what it needs... Yearwood's been booked. Now, everyone just needs to cool off now because... now I'm just hearing from my Gloucester colleagues that it's Dawson that's down. Yearwood is the transgressor. He's getting booked.
I was going to say, I think he was winding them up. Yeah.
Suggest there, but just needs people just to calm down. Now Tarbuck's in a bit of an exchange with one of the Gloucester coaching staff.
Yeah.
Now, just needs to cool it now, Brad.
This is where you don't want to talk yourself into getting a booking.
No, the incident has been dealt with. It was a foul, a nasty one. Yearwood's been booked. The referee's dealt with it. Now,
And I could see yellow being plucked to the Gloucester
What I
manager.
don't understand is why Tarbuck's getting involved still. Just walk away. Walk away.
Well, you can hear chants going from the Gosport fans wanting them more.
With something there, but the referee should have dealt with it. He has dealt with it, but Tarbuck, walk away. Just walk away.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those where you don't want any stupid business going on. Gosport will be making a substitution, though, either way. It's going to be Fanian coming on. Yeah.
Leave it and walk away, Brad. Now, come on.
Well, that would definitely be interesting to talk about with Pat and Joe after the game, as we can't really work out what on earth is going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would stamped on it. 2010. Yeah.
So it's going to be Cameron Murray coming off, and instead it's going to be Samuel Fanian coming on.
Coming on number 10, Fanian, replacing number 20, Cam Murray.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I'm a little bit surprised with that. I think Cameron Murray's been one of our star midfielders, at least definitely one of our star players today. Should really be happy with himself after that performance.
Yeah, this situation just needs to cool down. The referee's still there in the vicinity as well. Now, Fanian's come on, and he's immediately in conversations with Lewis Sando, the referee. Now, I think the fourth official and the referee are still chatting to the Gloucester coaching staff. Now, I can't quite understand. But then, yeah, now even the assistant referees coming involved as well. Now, there's conversations between Lewis Sando, the referee, the fourth official, and the Gloucester manager himself. Now,
do you think this is all going on, Bird, because of the manner of what Ashley Yearwood did there? Because let's be real, it was a little bit vicious.
It was a bit daft on
Yearwood's
point of view. He didn't need to do it. He did it. It was spiteful, but then I think there was there might have been an extra stamp where there didn't need to be one. Now, didn't get the best view of it, but I think now, the line needs to be drawn now. It's been dealt with. Interestingly, it's a now, Dawson's going to come back on now.
Well, I'd imagine, like I said, even this, it could, really change the whole tempo of the game, as it has fully just woken up this Gosport fans.
Now is a nasty undercurrent because of that one incident. Because the game's
I was going to say, it's been,
right? It's been played so cleanly in such good spirit, and now you've had a bit of a flashpoint. What you don't want is tempers to bubble from this. That would be a shame, really. But the tale of the tape is there's 13 minutes left. Gosport 1, Gloucester 2. Gosport have been banging on the Gloucester door very loudly, but now. Now
well, I was going to say.
This is good work from Smalley down the left-hand side now, and Gosport having to recover quickly, but.
Joe Morrison doing his defensive duties there.
As Gloucester appeared to come forward, James.
I scrubbed down this left-hand channel. It was him leading the line there, opening space. Joe Morrison tracking back well, as long as. Well, Henry Starr, I think he did his duties there as well. But it looks like the game has just slightly cooled down from that temper there. I mean, full animations going on near the dugouts. Just inexplainable what was going on. I don't think anyone really in the stands knew what was going on. And I suppose only the players would. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think someone needs to chuck a bucket of water over Ashley Yearwood to pull him off. And the same for Tarbuck as well. Didn't need to be involved in it at all. But there you go. But it's been dealt with, and we move on.
Well, looking at the football terms now, the game it did stop there for the substitution. Fanian coming on for Cameron Murray coming off. A little bit shocked with that because I thought Cameron Murray he's been excellent in this half.
Yeah, I think Murray's had a fantastic game actually.
Yeah.
But clearly it's a tactical twist, and they think that Fanian down this left
side
can give him something to think about.
Well, Alfie Stanley touching the ball down for Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden trying to put it back into Stanley. And Stanley just a few inches in front of the pass, which would have seen Stanley open in front of goal. And now instead, Gloucester, they're coming back in a counter-attack. It's Emmett coming down this left-hand channel. He's trying to get past Yearwood, but instead passes it back into Richards Everton. What another good opportunity there for Gosport, Jeremy.
Yeah, they sliced Gloucester open there, and that's not something you can say too readily this afternoon. But there they did there. But the ball was played in just a little too far behind Alfie Stanley for him to be able to do anything with it.
Well, it's Regford now, the left back. He's coming down this left hand channel as he looks to do a cross. Will he produce a good level cross? He may, but it's flicked back by Joe Morrison. Falls nicely for Grubb. Grubb right at the penalty box. He tries to go for a shot, but Fanian, he was just doing well. Good pressure there, but it's passed back into Walters. Now Walters trying to play in a ball, but it finds Finley Will Smith, who lobs the ball forward. Gosport trying to win back the ball, and Dutchy Hollins, he flicks it back. Once again, Gosport, we can't keep hold of possession. And now Beidou, he's on the ball, trying to chip a ball forward, and it's flicked over the bar there. I mean, another great opportunity there from Gloucester. I'm not sure who it was there who flicked it over, but it was brilliant. Open in front of goal, chipped it over Gosney's crossbar, and a good opportunity there for them to find a third and finish the contest. Well, the referee's played on.
Yeah, but I think that game will have to be stopped because it's Brandon Smalley, but the play goes on. He's on his feet now, but Gosport sliced open there, but now Gosport trying to see if they can do the same to Gloucester.
Ashley Earwood receiving the ball left of the penalty box. He's trying to cut inside of Walters. He's looking to come forward. So he passes back into Dutchy Hollins, midway inside Gloucester's own half. The ball is passed into Joe Morrison. Joe Morrison flicks it down into Kavanagh, right channel. Kavanagh looking to cut inside, left of the penalty box. As he chips in the ball, it finds a diving Richard Everton, who just clears it out of the danger zone. But it boomerangs back into the right back, Harry Kavanagh, and now it's gone into Henry Searle. Henry Searle looked promising since coming on in the second half, and he passes it into Talbot, back into the young defender Searle. Searle into Kavanagh. Kavanagh back into Searle. 1-2 between loads of players.
They need his experience out there, if I'm honest. Looks as though Rory Williams is warming up now. They could do with his experience because the game is on the line now. You've got 9 minutes to go, 2-1 in Gloucester's favour, and you need experienced heads out there now.
Fanian left of the penalty box. He's looking to deliver a cross. It does find a cross, and it flicks all the way back into Kavanagh. Cleared off the line there by Richards Everton. That is such an important deflection there. I think it was Kavanagh with a shot there. Not sure if it was meant to be a pass or a shot, but either way, Harvey in goal was beaten. Richards Everton with an important deflection there.
Yeah, and Gosport now, the knocks on the Gloucester door are turning into full old fist bumps on the door now. Gosport are desperate to get back in.
Alfie Stanley winning the ball right at the penalty box. He can't get his feet sorted, but still keeps hold of the ball right at the penalty box. He's looking to pass back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh, he's looking to flick a ball in. It's a low-driven pass, and it's not a great pass, but either way, boomerangs back into the right back. Kavanagh still looking up, trying to find that pass. As Dutchy Hollins, he's going to receive it. Fanian left of him. Ashley Earwood right of him, but he goes left into Fanian. Fanian, he's looking to cut inside, just in the edge, as he passes into goal scorer Ashley Earwood. Earwood, he flicks one back into Henry Searle. Henry Searle, around 30 yards away from goal, chips in the ball. Can it find Ashley Earwood? It can't, as it finds the head of Richards Everton. But the clearance falls kindly to Dutchy Hollins. Well brought down, but Beidou, he's applying pressure. That eventually forces Hollins to pass it all the way back into Gosney in goal. Now Hollins, he's still looking up as he's inside his own half, just a metre away from the halfway line. He lays a pass into Finley Will Smith as he plays a through ball across into, well, Fanian, just left of the corner flag. Around 10 yards away, using a lot of skill moves to try and get past Beatty, but he passes back into Finley Will Smith. Will Smith back into Hollins. Hollins, he's looking up. Just skimming a low-driven pass across into Finley Will Smith, still coming down the channel. He passes into Fanian. Fanian into Earwood, back into Tarbot. Tarbot going for a shot, and that's an awful shot. Just high and wide at the top right corner, and should have gone for the pass rather than the shot there.
Yeah, I can see why he did it. I can see the thought processes, but the shot wasn't accurate. It was all power and no accuracy.
Well, Jeremy, I think it's a fair statement to say Gosport have been a much better team in the second half. And it would be unfair to say we do at least deserve something from this game, I would say now.
No, Gosport have been pushing for that equaliser the last 10 to 15 minutes, and Gloucester have just held their nerve. They've been calm, they've been composed, they've defended well. You still sense there might be one more twist in this somewhere. You just
plenty. Yeah,
stoppages. You just sense there's more to come here.
Well, let's say we don't pick up a result today. I mean, if I'm Pat and Joe right now, I'd be very delighted with what I've seen from Gosport today.
Performance has been good. They won't be so happy with the two defensive errors that led to the goals, mind you, but generally the second half performance has been excellent.
Well, Alfie Stanley, just on the edge of the centre circle, he tried to play across into Ashley Earwood. Well called by Emmett, and now Gloucester City, they're counter-attacking as Beidou. He's coming down the right-hand channel. We've seen what his pace is like. Finley Will Smith, he's lazy, leaving a leg in. The referee doesn't blow for a decision, and I'm a little bit shocked there the referee hasn't blown.
Me happy to. The assistant didn't flag. He had a better view than the referee, and but like you, I'm surprised that wasn't given.
Well, Finley Will-Smith, maybe the referees are just told to be a little bit tougher this season. I mean, we have seen that this season already. And Jake Cope just walking in front of us, and I would say we could have done with a Jake Cope today.
Yeah, he's been injured for the last couple of weeks. He actually got injured against Andover New Street in the last round.
Well,
yeah, need him back out there soon.
Holland's chipping the ball forward, trying to find Alfie Stanley, but Alfie Stanley just outmuscled by Richards Everton's. I mean, a few feet taller than the striker there, but Fanian, he's won the ball just trying to skill his way past Burns. In the end, has to pass back into Dutchy Hollins. Yeah. I mean, yeah, some of these moves and skill moves, I think it would be little Strictly Come Dancing. But Kavanagh, he's right. He's trying to pass into Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden with a heavy touch, and it sees Emmett win the ball. Now he's going to look to counter-attack. Only 2 players coming forward for Gloucester City. Maybe one more being Dawson, but there looks like there's no urgency for Gloucester City to try and find this third. They're just keeping it in play and just trying to pass it around. But that pass finds Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden laying a pass into Alfie Stanley. And Stanley, he was forced into a tight angle and did well there to win a corner. I would have said Alfie Stanley.
James, he was on his own. He didn't have any support, and he did all he could do, was just to win a corner, and he did it well.
Well, let's hope Gosport can do something. We haven't made anything from our set pieces this game. Can we do it now? Literally 5 minutes left to play in this half. Can we find that equaliser? Well, it's going to be Kavanagh taking this corner. It's an in-swinger. It's a high one. It's found the head of Joe Morrison, who tries to flick it towards goal. Finley Will-Smith has got on the end of it. And now Fanian. Can Fanian get across his shot? He can't. But it doesn't fall nicely for Stanley, who's smacked in the face. Referee doesn't blow up. And instead, Regford, he tries to lay a pass into Beidou. Beidou going towards that right corner flag. Finds Henry Searle. Once again, does his defensive duties.
Henry Searle there. Well done, young man. Not overawed there by a player of Beidou's quality. Did his job beautifully at the expense of a corner.
Yeah.
But if he hadn't done that, it would have been a lot worse.
Well, I'm starting to have flashbacks, and this may also give Gosport fans hope who are listening to the Welling game. Similar position, they were near the right-hand corner flag. Minutes left to play in that one where we gave away a goal. Hopefully, Gloucester can do the same and just gift us a goal. Well, would be nice.
Got some defensive duties to attend to here, James.
And it is a short one into Beidou, and they're doing exactly what I thought, where they're just playing it towards that corner flag, just trying to kill these, dying minutes. But I would imagine, like we said, throw-in. Still, we are waiting to see what stoppage time it is. 4 minutes or now 3 minutes, I would say, left to play in this half.
3 minutes to go plus stoppages, and we'll soon see how much.
I could see a lot of stoppage thanks to the brawl.
It's very reminiscent, in fact, of the Welling game.
Exactly, yeah.
Where there actually 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Added
oh, really? Yeah.
Minutes, and it was nuts.
Well, I could just see visions of. I'm not sure who is actually scoring. Maybe a Dutchy Hollins wonder goal going in the back of the net. But you do feel like this game is far from over. Still 10 minutes left in this one. There's Finley Will-Smith. He wins the ball. He's tripped. Oh, yeah, 3 minutes. I'm getting. Yeah.
Stoppages. I was just saying that against Welling in last season's FA Cup tie, there was 10 added on.
Yeah.
And Welling used that time to get a replay. That's what I'm saying about that.
Well, at this point in the game, it does look like the Gloucester Cities, they are starting to time waste a fair bit. And this is where the referee needs to take a bigger grip of the game and start plucking out cards.
You know, who's to say that Gosport wouldn't do
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Gosport would be doing exactly the same, I suggest.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Gosney with a free kick. He does a short one into not Henry Searle. That's Finley Will-Smith. But he's going to pass it to Henry Searle anyway. And it looked like it was going to be a risky pass there. Just a slow pass. It looked like Smalley might have just reached out and maybe might have been able to get on the end of it there. But Gosport, we're just trying to launch one last attack. 2 minutes left of normal time. As Finley Will-Smith, he lays a pass into Samuel Fanian. Samuel Fanian, he passes back into Tarbark. Tarbark, midway inside Gloucester's half. Tarbark, he passes it into Alfie Stanley. Stanley flicks it back into Tarbark. Tarbark, he's coming forward into Asher Yearwood. Asher Yearwood trying to turn his man. Already got one wonder goal. Can he find an equaliser? But he is injured there. Just going to have to walk it off. As Finley Will-Smith, he's looking to pass it. And he does pass it back into Asher Yearwood. Exactly. I'm surprised he didn't pass it into Kavanagh there, just in loads of space. And Gosport really just taking our time trying to work a great attack. And a Joe Morrison ball does find Fanian left of the box as he's trying to cut inside, placing the pass. Fanian, a ball across the face of goal, and it's found Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden taps it in for close range. And I was saying Dan Wooden could have been the man to finish this contest. He got a hat-trick last time in the FA Cup, and Dan Wooden just taps it in. Samuel Fanian with a lovely pass. The substitute does wonders. Dan Wooden taps it in from close range, and Gosport have found the late goal. And can we now find the win in the dying moments of this game?
Ladies and gentlemen, the equaliser for Gosport on 89 minutes, scored by number 9, Dan Wooden!
Jeremy, who else would it have been other than Dan Wooden? What a ball that was from Fanian, by the way. Absolutely incredible.
Well, from the build-up play, the pass from Morrison, the ball in from Fanian to the finish from Wooden. Now, we're all square. Who knew? You know, at half-time, it looked a very long way away. And but Gosport, incredibly, are now looking for the win.
Well, Ashley Yearwood, he's cutting inside. Can he go across for a shot? He doesn't, just running into trouble. And Jeremy, you were just saying 10 minutes added on.
10 minutes.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 10 minutes of added time. 10 minutes. I said to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I said to you that against Welling last year there was 10 minutes added on, and that's exactly what's gone on here. So we've got another 10 minutes of this, and now it's all square. Gosport 2, Gloucester 2. A replay looming, unless somebody finds a late winner. But I mean, answer me this: who in this press box saw that coming just after half time? Who saw that coming?
Exactly.
Connor says he did. You're a liar. But
yeah, but then again, he saw Arsenal winning last season.
We've got a grandstand finish here, folks. So,
I really think we do.
If you're listening at home or wherever, because we do know that people are listening to YouTube on their phones. Well, buckle up, people. It's going to be tense. We've got 1 minute of the 10 added on, already down.
Well, Gosport, they're back on the attack as Kavanagh. He's leading the line, storming down the right-hand channel, trying to fizz a ball in. Can Dan Wooden get his second as he knocks one back into Fanian, but the referee blows up. Richards Everton going down there. Dan Wooden, he's furious with the referee, and it did look like the defender went down too easily there.
I think the referee hasn't got a lot wrong today, has he? So I think it is what it is. Move on. It's going to be a grandstand finish now, 2 apiece. And as our Gloucester colleagues have said, there's 9 minutes still to go.
Well, yeah, luckily they have salvaged 2 goals. We are speaking to Pat and Joe after the game today, as well as our new goalkeeper, Ryan Gosney. So I would imagine they will be very happy if we can find a win. And that's what I've just texted on the social media pages. It does look like Gosport, we have finally found that momentum, being a much better team in this game. And if we can find a win now, gives us such a better chance for when we instead go to Gloucester.
I did say to you earlier in the game, and I said to the listeners, that what they've got is a refuse to lose attitude, and that's certainly come to the fore. Now, the positives, they've fought, they've scrapped, they've been patient, they've found their way in. The negatives, 2 silly defensive mistakes that gave Gloucester their chances that they took. But this second half has been amazing.
Oh, exactly.
From Gosport Borough's point of view. And we've still got something like 8 minutes of the 10 still to come.
Well, so, yeah, exactly. You would have to think at this moment in time with the Gosport fans behind him, it does look like if there will be a goal, I can see it going towards Gosport as a pass is thrown back into Finley Wall-Smith, being excellent in this game as he rolls a ball across into Bradley Tarbar. Tarbar chips one across into Kavanagh. Kavanagh brings it down nicely as he's trying to cut inside of Rengford. Can he get past Rengford? He does excellently, but he is tripped. The referee doesn't give anything for it.
Not much. No. Got to be bluntly honest there, James. I don't think it was a lot in that.
So I was going to say, looked like he more tripped over on his own feet rather than being tripped. But
he's got it right. No doubt in my mind.
Well, ball has been funded forward. Dan Wooden, he was trying to nod it over the keeper, but Harvey just taller, using his hands there to grapple it over. Yeah, I was going to say, Beidou, he was through on goal there. Samuel Fanian making an important, block there. It was just a tug of the shirt there, wasn't it, from Fanian, but it was much needed there.
Yellow card straight out. He took one for the team, but he's got to be a little bit careful now, A.O. Fanian. He knew exactly what he was doing there.
Well, he's left his mark on this game anyway. He got the assist for that second goal, and albeit it was an incredible assist against the face of goal, simply tapped in by Dan Wooden, and from that range, Dan Wooden does not miss those. But there will be a free kick in order what Gosport do need to offend, as it's going to be Dawson taking this free kick. What can Dawson do here? As Dawson, he floats in the ball. Let's hope Gosport don't concede. It's found the head, and it's going to be kept in play by Emmett right at the penalty box. He chips the ball in. Gosport, please just defend it. And it's going to be saved by Gosney in goal. Just grappling the ball. And can he rework it in the attack? Why? All the Gloucester Cities are currently up front. He's going to bowl a ball across into Henry Searle. Henry Searle hasn't placed a foot wrong in this game so far, as he plays the ball into Harry Kavanagh. Kavanagh getting on the end of the ball. He plays one into Asher Yearwood, edge of the box. Asher Yearwood trying to skip past his across the defence. Can he do similar to what he did with the first goal? He can't, but he's just limited yellow bodies inside this box. Now they're starting to filter through. As Harry Kavanagh, he whips in the ball, trying to find Stanley, but instead finds Richard Everton, who does well there, just getting on the ball. And Emmett, he's on the ball. And there's a sliding challenge there, and it sees Gloucester. They're starting to come forward in numbers. It's number 19. I'm not sure who that is, but he's coming forward either way. Now it's Emmett striding down this left-hand channel. Joe Morrison, can he do his defensive duties? Emmett going for a low-driven shot, and it's well defended there by Henry Searle. And the ricochet has taken it just by the halfway line. Alfie Stanley just applying heavy pressure to the left back Rengerford, and Gloucester, they are starting to take a grip of the game once again. 5 minutes left to play in this game, enough time for either team to get a goal.
Like
I mean,
said, James,
dramatic.
grandstand finish. I mean, just after half time, who knew that it was going to go this way? We did hope that Gosport would do it. They have, but now Gloucester, they've woken up again, and both teams going for it, and it makes for a fantastic game of football to watch.
Well, Ryan Gosney just keeping the ball in play as he rolls the ball in to Dutchy Hollins. Now Samuel Fanian, he's got one assist this game as he's storming forward, as he lays one into Dan Wood and left of the penalty box. He tries to play a through ball back into Samuel Fanian, and the goal scorer and the assist are just linking up nicely. From the sliding challenge there, Duffus, I'm pretty sure he may have just picked up a little injury there. He doesn't seem comfortable at all.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, actually, this is so much like the Welling Cup tie last year. That was in the third qualifying round, of course. Not that that matters, but we've still got 4 minutes of the 10 left. Just seems to be going on for an eternity, this added period. But both teams are absolutely going for it, and why not?
Well, it's Henry Searle. He's on the ball inside his own half. Can Henry Searle magic up something? As he passes the short one into Bradley Tarbach. Tarbach, he lays one outside into Henry Searle. Henry Searle, edge of the circle. He whips in a deep ball. Can it reach Samuel Fanian? Just not enough power as it sees Beidou header it clear. But it falls kindly for Finley Will-Smith, who just skims one back into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins across into Tarbach into Asher Yearwood. Gosport ever slightly coming forward as Samuel Fanian. He's in this left-hand channel, 20 yards away from goal towards this left-hand position. And Beidou doing excellently defensively. And I think he's been a real star since coming on, Beidou.
Absolutely, yeah. Beidou's been outstanding for Gloucester since he's come on. And he was only on the pitch for about a minute, and he was storming down through the middle and creating an opening for them.
But he's also done his defensive duties today, and he's going to have to do some more here. As Alfie Stanley, he's on the ball, edge of the box. He rolls one back out right into Bradley Tarbach. He chips in the ball. Can it find Asher Yearwood? As he nods one down, it won't fall to Asher Yearwood. Instead, Dawson, who tries to get away from the danger zone, it's going to fall to Emmett. But Joe Morrison nearly just getting beaten there, and he stumbles. Finley Will-Smith, he's going to be the last man back for Gosport. And Finley Will-Smith, he leaves a leg, and I'm pretty sure he's got a yellow. For a second now, I just thought he was already on the yellow, but he's going to be very careful now in his final 10 minutes. I'm surprised that Pat and Joe aren't making a substitution now, maybe bringing on an Agbesi for Will-Smith.
You've literally got 2 minutes to go. But Finn, that was
risky.
Finn, that was very
but I think it was needed at the same time. Otherwise, the attacker would have been through there. I would said took one for the team.
You said it yourself. He was the last man, but that could have been quite drastic if the referee had chosen to up the punishment scale from the yellow.
Well, Scrub, he's going to be taking his free kick, and I think there will be a substitution made. But it looks like Gloucester are going to be making this substitution. It's going to be Grubb taking this free kick, and let's just hope Gosport don't spoil anything.
Yeah, it's just about 90 seconds left.
Grubb taking this free kick. It finds the head, and it's gone wide of the left post. The Gloucester players calling it took a nick off of Harry Kavanagh, but I don't think it did, and Gosport lucky there.
I'll tell you what, everybody held their breath there, didn't they? But yet there is a change coming for the visitors.
Well, Gosney, he's smashing the ball forward. It's going to fizzle it all the way back into Asher Yearwood, being the last Gosport man in the attack. And he also stumbles to the floor. Brilliant defensive work there from Dawson, the CDM. As Dawson smashes the ball forward, trying to find the run of Emmett. But Henry Searle, he's going to let it run out of play.
He's down, but I think he's just got a bit of cramp there.
Yeah.
But I think this one might just be heading for the replay now, if I'm honest. We're inside a minute, less than a minute now of the 10 added on, James. And Gosport have done fantastically well to come back
Yeah.
from 2-0 down here.
I was going to say, even if it is only a draw, we should be so proud with this. As Henry Stell, he's still desperately trying to find that extra goal. As he plays a forward pass into Kavanagh, can we find that one goal? Ashley Yearwood back down, but Kavanagh, he's still going forward, progressing forward. And Yearwood could have just done with staying on his feet there, but it does look like he is now struggling. He's worked his socks off today. Now Henry Stell, he's up against Emmett, strolling down the left-hand channel and doing brilliant with Dutchy Hollins. Well,
got 20 seconds left of the 10 added.
This is where you just want Ashley Yearwood just to even hopple, just do something. Yeah.
Gosport are attacking here, and this is the last chance for anyone to do something.
Joe Morrison, he does a short pass into Fanian. Fanian's got one assist, but he does get dispossessed by Beidou. And the referee has blown up. And what a huge result that is for Gosport. So the game will be going to a replay, but it has finished here at the AI Stadium. Gosport 2, Gloucester City 2. One goal coming from Yearwood and the other seeing Dan Wooden tap a ball in. Our physio is going straight to Ashley Yearwood, just checking he's okay. But what a game that was in the end. Huge result for Gosport.
Will now have to be postponed. So that is the permutation of this afternoon. So Chisel Square replay at Gloucester on Tuesday, kicking off at 7:45. So all that remains for me to say, ladies and gentlemen, is thank you very much for supporting both teams this afternoon. I hope you enjoy what's left of your weekend. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Well, Jeremy, very promising to say the least.
Yeah, A.O. Fanion's gone down injured, and I think, to be fair, there's going to be a bit of a casualty list from this one, James, on both sides, I think. And yes, I think Liv Bailey's going to have a busy time between now and Tuesday, so I think that she'll have to hold a clinic maybe Monday.
Yeah. Well, either way, considering our first half, how the first half ended, you wouldn't have expected that from the Gosport players, and it's that word again, fight. Brilliant.
Yeah, Gosport, fantastic. Showed a lot of character to claw their way back into that.
Yeah.
And it's going. I think if there's a game like this on Tuesday in the replay, then it's going to be a belter as well. But fair play to Gosport. They're still in it.
Well, going to Gloucester now, can we go and win it? Oh, judging by that performance, I would have said we were the better team. But be it, Gloucester, they've got a brilliant home crowd, and could that play a huge role? Because I think it played a huge role today.
It's going to be a big game up there. There's going to be a big game, a big crowd behind the home side. Gosport, no doubt, will take a few up, even though it's a Tuesday night and it's short notice. So, yeah, I think it's all to play for.
And Jeremy, you know how to end it. Final words as usual, up the Borough.